Bird, 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 bird. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Yeah! Ron Bain was right. Ron Bain was right.
I'm feeling spry. Hey everybody, it's Ron Bain with the Hunting Dog Podcast. It is the 10th of October. Hunting season's underway. I just got back from Alaska, and this is take 21 for the intro. And I've tapped out. Just like when I'm in jiu-jitsu, I tapped out. I'm going to have to just run down the list. I should almost use last week's intro with little Gabby Green. I literally can't keep a thought in my head. I don't know if it's because I'm excited about going hunting in 2 weeks or hunting next week or the trip I just got off of Alaska, waiting to tell more people about it. I don't know, but this is take 21, and this is what you're getting. My Patreon patrons, now they got, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. My Patreon patrons come into the Zoom rooms, or they're allowed to come into the Zoom rooms twice a month. We share training tips, hunting tips. A lot of patrons exchange emails and have met each other on hunting trips. It is a great little mini resource. It's a mini fraternity. It's the subset of the Hunting Dog Podcast listeners. And they get discounts on some of the stuff to boot. So, I mean, why not? I mean, I think the Zoom rooms are worth it alone. Pike gear. If I didn't have my Pike pants on when I packed for the airport to go to Alaska, I would have been in trouble because this dummy did not. I had 4 different things to wear on my feet. I had my boot bag with my gum leaf boots. I had my Thorogood boots packed into my duffel, my travel duffel. I had a pair of lace-up walking shoes like, I don't know, Timberline or something. This is some old pair of shoes I had. And I had my little Sketcher camp boots, take on and off when you're hunting and you're in camps and your people's houses. 4 different things I could have put on my feet. 4 different pairs of something. And this dummy forgot to put any other pair of pants in his baggage. Honestly, I had 7 pair of underwear. I had 9 pair of socks. I had more I gave T-shirts away. I had so many T-shirts. I had long sleeve, shirt sleeve, parkas, puffy jackets. I had everything in the world. 2 pair of gloves, 1 pair of pants. But thank God it was my Pike pants because I wore them for 10 days, including air travel. I looked as good coming on when I went on the plane as I did when I left. I did. And they got mud and they got blood and they got wet. And that fabric, I'm telling you what, I don't think it was made on this planet. Check out Pike Gear for technical clothing for the upland hunter. I did not see, well, actually I did. I saw 1 gunner kennel, which surprises me, in Alaska, which that is the roughest, toughest place you're going to hunt. I don't care. I mean, maybe if you're some ding-dong chucker hunter in Idaho and you're stuck living in Idaho and you pretend you like chucker hunting, but you really know that walking on a short grass prairie would be a lot more fun. All right, maybe that guy, beats up a little gear a little bit more than Alaska, but other than that, I don't understand why the folks in Alaska do not have enough gunner kennel products. I'm going to have to talk to Gunner about it because their products are made to take a beating and keep on ticking. That's an old Timex thing. It doesn't matter. You don't remember those commercials. I mean, David does from Colorado because he's older than me. Yeah, and he probably remembers Paul Harvey too. That's what the Zoom room's all about. It's like the old Paul Harvey tagline, and now you know the rest of the story. I don't know where I've told you, I'm tired. I took a nap. I shouldn't have. I'm just going to get through this, okay? Purina, that's what I put in my gunner kennel food crate because that's what I feed my dogs. That's what's always fed my dogs. Don't get sucked into any other dog food because there is not one that can match the science, the research, and the years of taking care of dogs. It's almost as if Purina made Onyx because Onyx is like, it's almost as flawless as Purina. It just doesn't have, 120 years of technology behind it because 120 years ago we were using a sextant. You know what a sextant is? A sextant is a never mind. You don't need a sextant. You don't need a compass anymore. You should learn to use one. All you need to do is get Onyx on your phone, know where you stand, know where you've been, set a pin, Send it to your buddy if you found birds. Be nice, okay? Let's not just keep it all secret, all right? And have you got your CZ yet? I know people are having a hell of a time. I mean, probably trying to find any gun, but the CZ, I'm telling you what, I don't know that they've ever had a year like they have this year. And the models they've got, from the pumps to the autos to the brake opens, the stack barrels, the side-by-sides, you can even get a hammer gun. Like, who else would offer a hammer gun? Yeah, CZ does. Yeah. And check out the CZ. If I've had 3 emails recently, like, can you help me get the crowdsourced CZ Project Upland gun? I said, no, I don't even have one. Why would I help you get one? But you can find a CZ somewhere, and you won't be sorry. It's where price meets quality. Walton's is already packed. Remember what I was saying about I'm not a good packer, but I pack my peripheral stuff ahead of time. I've got my Walton seasonings packed up for my trip to North Dakota. They've got everything but the meats. I'll get the birds, and I'll be doing like a Walton's live cooking from North Dakota. All right. And you know what's going to get me there? Well, my wilderness athlete's going to get me there with energy and focus, and my canine athlete's going to get my dogs through it, because these dogs have not had a lot of downtime, or a lot of road work yet. I mean, I get them out when I can, but right now in Michigan, it's literally hydrate and recover weather. We are in the humid 70s in October, unheard of for Michigan, and it's a good thing I got hydrate and recover, because you take a dog out for 20, 30 minutes in this humidity, and they are toast. Well, they're not going to be if you use Canine Athlete products. Did you practice for this season? I mean, did you? I mean, I did. I did not shoot 500 rounds like, some of my friends are talking about. But I shot a few hundred rounds, and I used Garmin's Zero S1, and I think I talked about it a month or so ago. What a cool tool. You could set that up right off your tailgate, right off your own personal thrower, and you can see every shot you hit, you miss, you smash, or you nick, or you just, if you're low right, if you're up center, missing. The Zero S1 makes every shot count. And it's a little late, okay? But if you get a bad season this year, next spring you and your buddies go together. It's expensive. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's worth it. I mean, everything's expensive. The Zero S1 will make you a better shooter, and that comes from Garmin. That's the company that, navigates all of our dogs and talks to us through our wristwatch. It's almost like a Dick Tracy comic. Anyway, Garmin, one word says it all. Mine is the 550 Plus. Yours might be the Alpha 100. Yours might be the Alpha 200. Yours might be the Alpha 10. Whatever it is, you're not going to get lost. You're not going to get lost. I brought in my luggage, I looked up what I could bring for shotgun shells in the airlines, and it's 11 pounds. I brought up 5 boxes of Boss 20 gauge. I brought 5-shot and 7-shot, and that was 10 pounds? Yeah, it was just a hair under 2 pounds a box. I brought 5 boxes of shells. I left some Boss with some of my Alaskan friends, so they're going to be able to show the birds who's boss, because when I shot, I showed the birds who's boss. I shot a lot of ducks, and Boss shot shells did not disappoint. One of my furthest shots was probably always one of my best shots. It's like swing around, look behind me, no time to shoot, birds out of range, and somehow, kaplump, we got to send that dog on a long, I don't even want to tell you because you won't believe it, because you're going to say, oh, Ron, you're just making it up. Let me tell you what, it took that dog a while to get there and back, and the dog saw the bird go down. That's how far away I killed a bird with Boss ammo. And it's non-tox. And that's all I'm going to shoot this year with a lot of places I go. I don't want to be switching from lead to non-tox. That's just what I shoot, okay? And W Hunting Supply. Just had a listener write me yesterday, and that was Saturday. And she's having problems with her a Garmin collar, or at least she thinks she is. We're trying. I'm not a technician. I'll try to help people as much as I can. And she said, could I have the email of the fellow you had from Garmin on? I said, no, I cannot do that. But what I will do is I will copy your email and your phone number to my friends at W Hunting Supply. At 10 o'clock last night, I was 10:30 last night. I was already sleeping. I looked at my computer this morning, and W Hunting Supply acknowledged the email and told this girl, even though she didn't buy it from them, they sell more collars than any other dog supply company in the country, and they know more about it. These guys are, you talk about service, that was service. I mean, they just came on board. This girl calls up, she's having problems. I don't send her to Garmin. I sent them to W Hunting Supply. Thanks, Buddy and Jason, for doing that. I'm sure she appreciates it. I brought my Slayer duck call just because they sent me one. I found out that I need duck call lessons, okay? But when I could get it going and I got the cadence right, well, they might have been dumb ducks. I don't know. It seemed like they worked, and it was you know what I didn't bring? I didn't bring a lanyard for my Slayer duck call. I didn't. Anyway, I should have, because I was always digging in my pocket and it got a little flint and lint in it. But anyway, it was oh, come on, I can't lose it now. I'm almost done. Oh, I know what it was. So anyway, Slayer sent me a duck call. Thank you, Slayer Duck Calls, for sending me that. It was great. And they have a discount for everybody. Hunting Dog 15 for Slayer Duck Calls. Hunting Dog, they want you to just give them a try. Hunting Dog 15, and you can get a Slayer Duck Call for 15% off. Now, Patreon patrons got an email 2 weeks ago with a better discount, but Slayer wanted to give everybody, all my listeners, a chance to try their duck calls. Wow. And my buddy David Lewis at Pointer Traditions, again, this isn't a sponsor. These are people that send me stuff to kick the tires on, and I'm telling you what, I had back in the day, I used to have a set of game carriers for goose hunting. They were made out of leather. They looked just as cool sitting on the wall as they did with a duck on them or a goose on them. But Pointer Tradition makes old school game carriers, but they make them out of that new fabric that they make all the leashes and collars out of. And they got a great little brass buckle on them and brass D-rings. And if we wouldn't have had those carriers, I don't know how I would have carried all these ducks out of this in this marsh in Alaska. It was an hour hike to get back to the truck where we were duck hunting. And I literally connected two of them together, and I was carrying other people's ducks, so don't get excited. I was carrying 16 ducks literally around my neck like a stole, if you will, like a mink stole. I had like a duck stole on because, I wasn't prepared. Who knew we were going to get that many ducks? And who knew I'd have to walk out ahead of everybody because I'm old? But anyway, the point, check out Pointer Traditions game carriers. Holy cow. What a nice unit. Instead of throwing everything in the back of the truck and then, when you go pheasant hunting or you put them in a game carrier and then you just grab that game carrier and there, all right? And Shooting Sportsman Magazine, I just got their last issue, just read it. As the sign says, guns, duh. This is it, I'm telling you. However this one comes out is the way it comes out. Birds, guns, dogs, people, and places, and they did it all. What a great issue. This is the November-December issue. Excuse me. And I am going to try to get one of the authors of Tom Davis. I'm going to try to get Tom Davis to come on. He wrote a great article about pheasant hunting, 21st century style. Great story. It's a story that's very reminiscent of many of my hunts with my friends. The ups, the downs, and what keeps you coming back. I love that magazine. I can't wait. Every 2 months I get another one. I get all excited. You should too. All right, I think that's it. No, it's not. It's not. I apologize. This was supposed to go first. The Upland Institute, the dog training, online training series that Justin McGrail and I built, filmed, edited. Well, we didn't edit, of course. Now we went to a professional company. You can tell by the commercial. Go to uplandinstitute.com. Just check out the videos. Check out the intro video. Check out the video to each of the training series, the Trained Retrieve, Foundations and Fundamentals, and Advanced Bird Work. You'll know what's inside when you look at those commercials. We have gotten, I'm telling you what, this is going to be as important as anything of my sponsors if you hunt with a dog and if you don't go to a pro trainer, okay, there's something in here for everybody. And I hope you pay attention to it. Go online, look it up, give us your email. Yeah, and we won't inundate you with a whole bunch of like I get from J&R Cigars. Don't worry about it. It's just go up there and we'll stay in touch with you when we add more content. For those of you who, thank you, because so many of you have already purchased some of the segments or all of the segments. We will be adding stuff in the springtime. We'll be adding extra segments, and if you're already a member of the Upland Institute, those extra segments will just come in to you for free. Yeah, when we get those edited. But I'm telling you what, editing, oh my God. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Indivio. Oh, we've never done it without him. But I'm telling you, we've got a lot more stuff coming up. The Upland Institute. Check it out. Don't be afraid. And don't be embarrassed by your dog. You don't have to be. Just take your dog to school. I don't often do this, but I want to apologize for this podcast. Not because of anything we said, but because of what we might have forgot to say. This was a true hunting camp podcast. It got a little sideways. It got a little long. And honestly, I didn't want to take the time to listen to it and cut it in half and make 2 episodes out of it. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, everybody, for coming on it, telling some stories. And it's a long one. It's a good one. But I have no idea what you're going to hear. It was a blur.
Ron Bame, I got good situational awareness here.
I'm very good. I went to Bogan High School in Chicago. Everybody, it's Aaron Bame with the Hunting Dog Podcast. My guests today are Jason Carter, T. Lar Bruce, K.N. Gates. I can't get through this.
Come on, Ron.
Brandon Stanley and A.D. Wakeman. Anyway, I'm up in Soldata. What is this?
Soldotna.
Soldotna. I'm up in I'm up in Soldotna, Alaska, and I just came off a grueling 2-day duck hunt with friends of mine from all over the country, and but I want to go first to Ken. So, Ken, where did you learn your measurement and volume skills? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That was rude. I want to tell you this in my normal way. I whined like a baby for 2 days trying to go duck hunting. Let's be honest. I whined a lot. I mean, would you agree?
Well, I mean, there was a little bit.
I mean, but I got through it.
That was me lying about my measurement.
So, we go up this. All right, how many mile road is that?
Like 12.
12 miles, but it takes 3 hours.
No, it was like 35.
35 miles?
Okay, I'm confused.
I mean, once we got off the hard top.
Yeah, like 35 miles.
And all I'm seeing is spruce trees and aspen. And this guy's telling me we're going duck hunting. So for 30 miles through the mountains, I keep thinking there's no wood ducks in Alaska. And all I know is you could have got there from Anchorage quicker than the way we came in down this godforsaken goat path that some pipeline company put in 1960. But take it away. Give a little description of it.
I mean, you know, yeah, you can
So
get there
people
by
get to-
you can get there by plane, a couple minutes from Anchorage. But what fun would that be? You know, where's the adventure?
It was all of an adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was that? A forest cap? What do they call that?
It's a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service cabin.
Louder.
It's a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service cabin.
Right.
No,
And
he's
you
kidding.
and you reserved that with
yeah,
us
I
in
reserved
mind.
it like 6 months ago, just for you.
just for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
No mattresses,
No, nothing.
no beds,
No beds.
one wood stove,
A wood stove.
bear claws all over the door.
Bear claws on the door, on the outhouse. Yeah, you had.
I will say it had a nice outhouse. You got to agree with that one.
Mostly chewed up by bears.
The outside, but the inside was barely used.
No pun intended.
Anyway, I got to go back, more background. So I was invited up here to judge a dog test. That didn't pan out, but I said I wanted to come up here because you told me about getting up here, and I'm like, damn it, I've been to Alaska a lot, and I've never used a shotgun in Alaska. And it sounded like, you know what? That's I'm in. So I showed up, and I still couldn't figure out how long did it take us to figure out that we were actually going to be somewhere a duck might live. I mean, seriously.
I think it was that morning.
About when that morning, Jason?
It was late.
Late, like 11-ish?
Like, what actually are we doing today?
Right. Because, so then, now I got to keep backing this up. Our mode of transportation is a 1991 Suburban that's been rigged out, decked out, jacked up, re-welded, frame, bumper, winch, farmer jacks mounted to the back bumper, which scared me right off the bat. I knew, like, are we going to get stuck? He goes, not with any luck. But,
Rest in peace. But we'll get to that.
rust in peace. And then you got to realize the guys I'm with, when this vehicle was made in Detroit and Flint, Michigan, none of them had a damn driver's license. I'm the only one that knows what a 91 Suburban is capable of doing as far as breaking down. Because they would break down on us all the time. But I'm getting too far ahead of the story. So, all right. Let's just go. Yeah. Take it from here. How did you even find this place? Because,
Well, I mean, it's a place where a lot of locals go hunt.
right.
Well, I say a lot, like maybe
a dozen. Right.
or two.
Because only 3 of them have a vehicle capable of getting on this.
Yeah, unless you land in an airplane or something like that. The only way to get there is by a 2-track.
Yeah.
So you need a vehicle to get there.
A tough.
But it's one of the premier areas to hunt waterfowl,
right.
except in September when it's freezing.
And the 2-track has about 400 yards of flooded 2-track in front of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ken, I felt like I was on the Meriwether Lewis and William Clark expedition for a while.
But that's like every expedition in Alaska.
Yeah, you guys just
Everything.
it doesn't mean anything to you guys. Difficulty is not in the equation.
As long as you're prepared, just go do it.
I will say you're prepared. Your truck.
Kinda.
All right, so you didn't have a spare fuel pump. I mean, who can blame you? I mean, who plans on going 60 miles from home and needing a fuel pump? Or we don't know. We still don't know.
Yeah. We'll get there.
But so we go down, we get to the cabin. Of course, we're all excited, and there's this cute little log cabin that's big enough for a family of trolls. And
I will say you were a little let down when you saw the cabin.
from a distance, I thought I had my glasses off, and I thought it was bigger. And I remember the sign in your Suburban that says, "Images in mirror are larger than they appear." And I was like, "Nope, it's that small."
Yeah.
But it had a wood stove.
Hey, kept you dry, right?
It kept us. We brought groceries up. Thank God we went shopping, huh? I mean, thank God. We kind of thought we overshopped. By the time we got out of there, there was a half a muffin and a piece of cheese.
And a loaf of bread.
There
There was an extra loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to this cabin, and we're still in the dense forest of Alaska.
Yeah.
Like where wolves and bears and moose live.
Frequent.
Frequent, come through, shit on the trail.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm still trying to I got waterfowl loads. Well, actually, I asked you for some 20-gauge slugs before we left, and you said, "Go ahead, dummy, take them." But we're all sitting there thinking of Jason and Tyler and I are all from the lower 48, and we're ready to go duck hunting. Jason, what did you think were you questioning it, or did you kind of know what we were going to get into?
I had no clue. But when you walk up onto the porch and you see the nose prints right on the window.
Of the bear?
Yeah, the bear and all the teeth marks all the way around the cabin. You're like, okay, we're not at home anymore.
We're not duck hunting. Sure as shit, we're not duck hunting. Tyler, what did you think?
I thought just don't be a wuss and do what they do.
Just follow suit.
Just keep all your inner thoughts inward. And
Unlike
keep-
me,
Yeah. Yes.
And run faster
Very-
than Ron.
And just
run faster than Ron.
yeah.
I will say, no bears were harmed or seen in the making of this
Very
episode.
true.
But I don't want to keep running this thing. I want to get like, all right, Tyler.
Yes.
We get up in the morning. We got our shotguns. We still think we're duck hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And explain from leaving the camp to going to the spot where we would see a duck.
Well, sure. I mean, we pull off onto that just about the only piece of road you can pull off, and apparently there's a trail there, which is just a huge, what we call a widowmaker, going over a bit of trail. You start walking down. Louder? Yeah, okay. And it's pretty much like Lord of the Rings adventure. You're going through different terrains, and it never ends, and eventually you get there. We listened to a lot of Ron, which kept us all our spirits pretty high.
Are you not
No,
remembering
no,
the
you-
fact that your boots went over?
Oh, that was the first day.
No, I mean every step you took, you could go down to your knee.
I think the mere fact that Ron kept going made it harder for everyone else to turn around.
Oh, that's a good point. Like I want to think of somewhere Tyler and Jason were
Actually,
going
yeah,
like
that's a great
like
point.
like that'll fucking make it. We can't quit. We can't tap out on
He
this.
sure does whine a lot, but he kept going.
And you walk ahead of us. You keep looking behind us, like you're running down there. Like we're late for dinner.
Brandon's sitting here in the back going, why is Ken lying to Ron? We're not almost there.
We're not even halfway there yet.
Never
Yeah.
ending.
Oh yeah, that's the whole nother thing. This every time I take an excursion or an adventure, somebody says, "Oh yeah, oh it's like we said 30 minutes or 300 yards. We know there was a 3 in it, right? Where did the 3 come in? I don't know where the 3 came in eventually, but I'm telling you, we walked through this dark forest with wolves on trees eyeballing us. I saw them. I didn't want to alarm you guys. But I didn't want Tyler's. Tyler was.
I know.
Tyler, let's be honest. You were as scared as I was.
I'm not going to admit to that.
Right. But I saw the wolves looking at us, and the bears, and the giraffes, and it was not pretty.
Notice where Tyler was in the lineup.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Non-committal in the
whole
middle.
week.
But seriously, now Brandon, you've been down to the same area. You guys blazed this trail.
Well, it's been in there, but
You
it's
spruced it up a bit.
we spruced it up.
Yeah.
Made it a little easier walking for our guests.
I just can't explain how miserable to a flatlander that's 64 years old and 30 pounds overweight, this trip going down this mountain to get to the flats, when everywhere else in this country we take boats to.
It was only a third mile, though.
What?
See, there's the 3 again. A third of a mile, my ass.
No, it wasn't.
All right, Jason, what was your thought? How far do you think we went from trail to duck blind? How
I
far?
thought it was cakewalk. I don't know about you guys.
Okay,
It was-
how long?
All right, let's give us a distance, Johnny Armstrong.
Yeah.
What was it, 3 miles?
Okay. What was it actually?
Oh,
That's
wasn't
another
3.
3
It was,
right there.
it was 1 hour.
It was
It was an hour of hoofing
hour
it.
of hoofing it.
Hour and a
And
half.
that was with downhill.
And that's
Yeah.
with Ken leading. With Brandon, it was more like 30 minutes because he was literally running through the woods.
Yeah.
But you guys went down there in August. Was it
September 1.
September 1, and
Opening day.
100% worth the walk.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal.
And you only had to get 100 yards into the flats. Or so.
Yeah, 150, 200 yards.
That's Ken speak for a quarter mile. And so we got, what everybody who hunts gets this picture. Somebody invites them, and you see like sugar plum fairies in your head. You're like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Pintails and mallards. And we get there and we're like, now we're kind of like in knee deep water, but we're still in spruce trees. I'm like, this is there's no wood ducks.
We're in Louisiana, man.
It was terrible. And then we finally get to what I would call the river bottom or the flats. What's the name of that river?
Chickaloo.
Chickaloo River Flats.
Yep.
And it looks like something out of Jurassic Park. I mean, it's like you got mountains, you got Mount McKinley in the background, you got forest behind you, and like miles of.
It's just a phenomenal place to go, right?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
Nobody gets there, other than
that's the beauty of it. Like, is it miserable?
yes.
It ain't fun, but like, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Like, and the ducks prove that to us
You were second guessing me though, weren't you?
all the way. I'm still. I don't even know what Friday's bringing, and I'm second guessing you. So anyway, we get set up. We get down. There was a couple swans. So everything got cold and frozen, and we saw two swans, right? And we're kind of assuming they kept some of the water open on this one pond.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of we're a little bit ahead of schedule with our weather this
Cold
year.
weather.
Yeah, I mean, it came up. Oh,
There's 4 feet of snow behind us in the mountains.
yeah, it snowed a lot last week and dumped a ton of snow. Temperatures dropped, so we're this time of year normally, we're getting frost, but we're not getting 20-degree temps every night
Right.
a week in a row.
Right.
So that kind of made it a little bit difficult
Right.
to find open water.
But so then when we get out in these, I call them tules. They're not tules, but it's just marshy, wet, soggy, ankle deep, or in my case, knee deep. You just keep trudging, and you guys start bending, and you're like, let's go look for this pond. Let's go look for that pond. And we saw the swans, and to our amazement, like, are those all ducks? Are those all ducks we're seeing out there?
It's like a
Then all of a sudden,
mirage in the distance.
all the pain goes away. Like, all the misery, when you see the duck, it's all the pain goes away. It's like, okay, let's go. And so we get set up. All right, I want to ask, Jason and Brandon went on the other side of this pond from us.
Well, Ken sent us over there to break the ice up.
Well, good point. Good point. But you set up some decoys.
Yeah.
We didn't bring a lot of decoys. 6 decoys here, and
Well, would you want to carry more?
I didn't carry anything.
Well, I was
I
going to say,
barely could carry my own ammunition.
I forgot about it. You didn't carry any of it.
I carried a bunch of ducks out, though.
You did.
You did.
You carried half as many again, but anyway. So Brandon and Jason go over to the other side to set up. And they're only, 100 yards?
150 tops.
Yeah.
Tops?
Not even that.
100.
I know. Looking directly down your gun barrels.
So you guys set up over there, and you get in your chairs, and you left.
Well, we're looking down your gun barrels.
You're 150 yards away.
We hadn't even shot yet.
We haven't even shot you yet.
I saw it coming.
But
we got sandhills, we got snows, we
That-
got
that's where I wanna
Canada
go.
singing us in the
so
background.
you're hearing and seeing stuff. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's clouds of waterfowl just moving behind us, and
Just
they're landing in the marsh. What appears to be 100 yards, more like 2 miles.
right.
So we go, we put the stock on a group, and off they go, and we're like, we can do it. Because they only fly off 100 yards and land again.
Which every time it's actually a quarter mile.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And pretty soon, you guys are out of sight.
I know. What's the definition of insanity?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just keep moving and moving up the marsh, and at one point, I look at Brandon, and Brandon, he goes, I feel like Cal. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Go ahead.
I said, I feel like Cal. And Jason says, what do you mean? I was like, Cal from Meat Eater. Cal from Meat Eater. And he's like, what do you mean by that? Well, Steve always goes off and shoots something because we get out there and we just start hearing the guns unload. You know,
Right.
just banging away. Bang, bang. And I'm like,
That would be us.
yeah. And we're like, and I was like, yeah, Steve goes off and he shoots something and Cal's just grinding it out all the way to the end of the episode till he gets something.
Yeah.
And so so we turned around and we chased those
Snow
snows
geese all the way within 100 yards of
theirs.
you.
Yeah.
You guys were gone for 2.5 hours.
Oh,
We were kind of offended. I mean,
Longer.
Tyler was like, I think they got tired of us just standing up and looking around.
Listen, as soon as I saw them sit in that blind, I knew they were moving. Because I know that guy over there. I won't name names.
Well, I could
We
jump
went
to
on a little spirit walk, you know.
Spirit Walk.
Yeah.
Always looking for the next
Yeah.
piece of ground.
Yeah.
The greener.
Well, there was nothing moving, so we thought we'd go down there and chase. No, come on, no.
All of your ducks, that's because we went.
We went down there and flushed
Wait,
them your
let me
way.
ask you a question then. How come they came from the other direction?
You guys missed them going behind you. They were in the trees. You guys couldn't see them.
I see.
Yeah.
So, but it really was, once all these hundreds of ducks left, we assumed they went to the river, right? Which they'll do, because that's moving water, it's open water. Most every little pond was frozen that morning.
Yeah.
But as soon as you guys got, I don't know, mile from us or whatever you guys did, and it was just before noon, and all of a sudden,
You were still doubting the whole situation at that.
oh yeah, I was still whining about my feet and the boots and the waders and
That's a whole nother story.
right. Well, that's how I deal with pain.
Yeah.
I just try to like,
Vocalize it.
Wait a minute, run.
yes.
You're sitting in a chair,
Oh boy.
That was at the end of the day.
orange hat on,
No, he wasn't sitting. the
neon
whole
green
time.
jacket, and killing ducks.
Right.
How hard can that be?
Right. So to my point, why would you leave such a honey hole when you like if I was with them, if I was Brandon and Jason and I got a mile away and I heard as many shells as you and me and Tyler shot,
Turn around.
I'd be running back there going, "My turn. My turn." And these dummies are
Wait for me.
we started counting, we're like going, crap, I hope they didn't get any ducks.
Oh man.
We had geese on the brain.
You chased
Sand
geese.
hills. We had the sand hills over there. There was geese
You
over
chased
there.
birds like the first time I went to South Dakota. I'd see pheasants get out of a field, and I'd watch them clear and go down. Like, I'm going for that pheasant. Never works out real good.
No.
Never works out. Did you guys? You guys got a shot off though when you.
Well, yeah, we chased them all the way out.
Yeah.
Turned around, chased them all the way back. It was just before they landed in your decoys. We got a shot off.
We were pretty damn tickled about that.
Yeah. No, it shaped up to be a pretty good day.
Oh, that was crazy.
It was a little cold in the morning.
Yeah, but not bad. I mean, I could whine about a lot of stuff. My knee, my boots, my feet. I don't like it. My back hurts. But I wasn't really cold. I like cold. Like,
Yeah, you were sweating pretty good.
yeah, I put up a lot of steam. In fact, someone thought the fog was coming up. It was just all coming out of my shirt. But that alone was an adventure, and I was so mad. Not mad, but I was like, I kept like about every 20 minutes, Tyler. We was like, God, I hope those guys are coming back with something
I know.
because
No, you
yeah.
don't understand.
No,
you
we
know,
did
for
say
me
it.
personally,
yeah,
you know, just going across those flats and being in Alaska and seeing that backdrop of
you didn't.
Mount McKinley, you know,
didn't care.
I didn't care.
Yeah, you need to preface this. I mean, so we get down there and I'm like, where else can you hunt with mountains in the background, Rod?
Right.
I hunt all over the place with mountains in the background. What are you talking about? So I had to rephrase it there. Well,
With Mount McKinley,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
the highest mountain in North America.
No, you
Yeah,
couldn't
it was,
beat that
it was
scenery.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's every time you come to Alaska. The thing about Alaska is, you know, there's facets you'll never experience. So every time
Yeah,
you come
there's-
back, there's another facet.
Right.
Everything's
You know.
trying to kill you.
Well, there's that.
Or could,
There's that.
including our guide.
The calling of the herd is certainly part of Alaska. But, you know, I mean, this place is amazing. You know, there's you know, waterfowl hunting. That didn't even cross my mind. You know, I mean, you don't think Alaska, I'm thinking sheep, I'm thinking goats.
Right.
You know, not waterfowl hunting. But I've never seen waterfowl hunting like that.
Well, we had some pretty good
incredible.
upland on the way in.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
That was
Plenty of grouse on the way in.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. We'll go shot by shot on that one in a little while.
We don't need to go over percentages.
Right? No. Hey,
At one point,
Tyler,
yeah, go ahead.
If I say your name right for the rest of the podcast, will you go get me a beer?
Sure will.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
What's my name?
Tyler.
Hey, Kyle, can you go get me a beer?
Now don't confuse me.
All right, buddy.
But
At one
this
point, that place looked like the Bat Cave. Birds just
that was
everywhere.
It was cool.
Funneling in.
They were cut. All of a sudden, there was 10s and 20s just trying to figure
Well,
out.
it went from 0 to like, oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh!
you got ammo? Is your gun loaded?
And you're hitting Teal with 2-shot. I'm like, you brought 2-shot?
Wow, I was prepared for anything. Bears, wolves.
And then I want to jump to Andy here because we just get off the main highway and we just get into the 2-track, and Ken had told me on the phone, he said, bring waders. Oh, what size are they? I said 10 and 10 and a half. Oh, same size as me. He said, don't pack waders. I got plenty of waders your size. I can't get my feet into them. Now, only in Alaska do you call your friend who airdrops in a plane.
Well, first off, I forgot my wading shoes.
Well, you got a pair for me, but
Only after default.
yeah, only after default. But we can get a text out to Andy.
I never asked him that. My
How
wife
did,
did.
Andy, how did you get the message then?
From Ken's wife.
That
She messaged me on Facebook or something like that. Say, hey, give me a call. Ken forgot his boots. Maybe you could go take them out to him.
in a plane.
Well, yeah, I just happened to have one.
He's smart enough not to go on that goddamn 2-track.
It only took me 20 minutes to get out there.
So I'm in the cabin, and there's this plane buzzing the treetops. I'm like, I thought we were in London in World War II with the Messerschmitts. And this bag drops out of the sky. Accurately.
Yeah, it was well placed.
I mean,
I had to punch it out the door.
How big is your door?
Big enough for my fat ass to get in it.
It's only about a 2.5 foot. That ain't a big door.
So you got to open the whole door.
Have you practiced at dropping shit out of planes, or was that a first?
I may or may not have made deliveries of alcoholic beverages to remote locations before.
But that is not, may or may not be your job in life?
No,
No.
I'm not a professional pilot.
Right. No. Do you have a pilot's license?
I do.
Okay, I thought I'd ask. I thought we should be vetted here.
Yeah,
What do you use your plane for? Recreation?
for recreation. Yeah, we fly.
Like, who has a plane?
A lot of people. All my neighbors.
Where does this come up?
Yeah, I live
did
on
you-
a private strip, about 15 miles from
Are
here.
you a doctor, a
Well,
dentist?
Well, that
I-
brings up a point. You know, private strips in Alaska. What does that look like?
My house.
Gravel bank?
We were walking across across the marsh, and Brandon's like, yeah, that's the landing strip. I'm like, what?
What
that-
landing strip?
No, we have a pretty nice setup at my house. We got 2,500 feet of gravel with pavement run-up pads and lights, so I can land there at night. and
We
stuff.
drove in on a landing strip.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah.
There's 2 on that road.
Why?
Jason
Landing
asked,
strip my butt.
Yeah, well, it's overgrown at this point.
Jason asked, he's like, somebody riding bicycles out here? It looks like bicycle tires. I was like, no, that's the tail wheel from the
Oh, yeah.
planes
Planes landing.
landing out there on the strip. Yeah.
How did you get here, Andy? Like to Alaska, or are you a resident all the time?
I used to work in the oil and gas industry down in the Rocky Mountains in Wyoming,
Yeah.
and I transferred up to Alaska to work. There's a lot of offshore rigs out in the Cook Inlet.
Yeah.
Transferred up here to do that 10 years ago.
Did you already have a pilot's license?
No.
He just got that last
wow.
week.
No.
Oh, good.
I've been flying for 6 years now.
That's so cool.
I that's just down where we live. You just can't fathom that. I mean, you can fathom somebody that has a plane, But you can't fathom somebody says, you know what? I think I'll get a plane. It would be easier to go hunting. Literally, right?
Or fishing.
Or hey, I forgot my boots. Do you mind dropping them off?
And I forgot my boots. Ken's wife, Facebook, didn't even call him. And
Oh boy.
That's the cool thing about Alaska, though. You meet all these different people, but
and they're all like not eccentric, but like it's like you're all up for it.
everybody's up for an adventure and everybody's looking out for your friend.
Yeah, well,
You know
that's
what I mean?
true.
Whether it's, well, we'll get to it later, I guess.
Yeah, there's more to the story.
Oh,
am I
there's
wrong?
probably a part 2, part 3, part 4, you know. But I just think this was crazy. I said we was gonna airdrop, but like we're in the woods. We're in the, my buddy Jerry. He had a 1941 Aeronca tail dragger. It was a trainer
Okay.
plane. We rebuilt it over 2 winters. Built new wing spars. Recovered it in canvas. Had it painted in the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And I used to go up with him off of 1,800 foot airstrip,
Okay.
which I thought we needed more. And we used to, can I say drop beer cans out of the plane on people?
You can say whatever you want.
I was just asking. I don't want the FFA to call.
You're asking Ken?
But you know what? Jerry's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. He was the pilot. I could not fathom how you could. It's a 2-track with woods. A 2-track is the size of a vehicle, which is maybe 8 feet all total, with unless the brush is covering the road.
Yeah.
How many times did you practice dropping shit out of the door of your airplane?
Once.
So that's why the beacon light's on it?
Well, I didn't know what the wind was like where you guys were. It was pretty calm at my house, but
Yeah.
in case the gust of wind got it or whatever, I put a big long piece of rope and a blinky light on there just in case it got hung up in a tree. You might be able to see it, when it got dark.
I'll be honest. I was sitting
Did you
down,
have faith in it?
I was sitting down on the trail and I'm like, I saw Andy fly over and I'm like, man, I wish I was down on the runway to watch this.
Yeah.
Because it's not every day you get something thrown out of a
You
plane.
don't
at
get your waiter boots delivered by airmail. I mean, this is real airmail.
Well, we do. They're 2-day FedEx up here, but
Different.
this was like 20-minute FedEx,
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to see the drop. But I'll tell you what, it was like spot on, right in
Yeah.
the middle of the runway.
Yeah, I tried to get as low as I could.
Oh, you were low.
Yeah, I was
I
like
saw-
just barely above the treetops when I dropped it.
I was in the cabin by myself and I was yelling, "Incoming!"
But I had a pretty decent sized dry bag.
Yeah.
I pushed the door open, and it may have looked like I was going slow, but I was going.
What were you doing? I'm gonna get. Wait, let me guess. 80.
72.
Wasn't that far off?
No. So I had everything adjusted, pushed the door open, grabbed the dry sack, and I thought I was just going to do it one motion. Mm-hmm. Well, the wind shut the door. Slammed it on half of the dry sack. So I was sitting here, okay, make sure I don't run into the trees, give it a little gas, make sure I stay straight.
Meanwhile, it's stuck in the door.
Yeah, the dry bag's stuck in the door.
Tree, tall tree.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kick it over off to the side, so I'm like hoping I'm kind of run right down the center of the strip. And then I just look over and I just punch the dry sack and I was like, okay, it goes out the door. And then I just gave her full throttle and just got the heck out of there because there was a mountain at the other end of the runway.
That's pretty amazing. That's
All for a set of boots.
Yeah,
all for a set of boots,
Well,
yeah.
but it
And
was a
other
care
things.
package.
It
We'll
was
call
a
it
care,
that.
Care
there
package.
was more to that care package.
But then I tried to climb. It was about 2,000 feet once I finally got done climbing. I was just trying to find it just to see if I could see where it landed. And after about the second or third loop, I finally spotted it pretty much in the middle.
So you went back up to you went from like 80 feet to 2,000.
Yeah,
So were you afraid to come back down and look at it, or you just had to spot it? From
You gotta
it's a
get
better view.
Oh, okay.
You can't
You can't
see
just
very-
look down. You
Yeah.
gotta look.
You have to look off the
like
side.
20 degrees or 30
Yeah.
with something like
I mean, I could have, but it would have been kind of sketchy.
But we're talking like a 1x1 bag.
right.
Yeah, it's
From
not very big.
2,000
Like
feet away.
maybe like the size of a basketball or something.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Well, that's why I picked the orange one so I could see it.
Oh wow, we can talk about color blindness later.
Yeah.
You and Jason.
You nearly ran it over.
We got 5 people on this hunt. 2 of them are colorblind. Just throwing that out there.
Well, just picking the bag up, I couldn't even see it on the runway, and I was ground level with
But
it.
you didn't trip on it.
I almost did trip on it.
Oh, it's just, it doesn't happen anywhere. It can't happen anywhere. I've hunted all over this country, and stuff like this only happens in Alaska.
What? Andy gave us some other gifts too, Ron. Would
There-
you elaborate on any of that?
I could.
Now he's on the spot.
There was some very good chocolates from another country,
Where were those from?
And
From Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. We had some nice chocolate bars. We had
Cigars.
cigars, a little pack of Macadudos,
Pair of boots.
the waiter boots, which was the crux of it.
he's avoiding it.
Plus some
I'll
other
get
candy.
there. I'll get there. And there was some
Those are-
condoms. Again,
Dude, come on.
no, am I lying?
No, but
I guess I didn't even know those originated. What have you been keeping from us, Ron?
Here it is, right here. It is. It looks like an old book of matches, like when I used to go to restaurants when everybody could smoke and should smoke. And it says avoid bycatch. It's got like a ship on it. And on the other side it says protect yourself from STDs. Use the condom. Get tested. Go to find a testing location. No, www.iknowmine.org. But in the bottom of it, it says the tagline is "Wrap it up, Alaska."
avoid bycatch.
Avoid bycatch. I know mine. So we got 5 condoms shipped to us. Then I was starting to
Well,
worry a
there's
little
one for
bit.
everybody.
But then it all came together when in that same dry bag with condoms, chocolate. Oh, that's creepy.
We forgot the suckers.
Yeah.
Oh, there were some Tootsie Pops. I think they were for suppositories. I don't know. No idea. And then there was an 8x11 glossy of Jonathan naked with a buffalo rug. Looking over his shoulder,
Oh god.
who actually had his wife take this picture, went to walk. This is in 2 days' time.
So who's Jonathan?
Well, you tell me who Jonathan is, because
I
I'm
don't
still
even
not
know
over
who
it.
he is.
He's an
He's one of your
enigma.
chapter members from the Yukon NAVDA.
Yeah. Well,
Oh boy.
we don't want to claim Jonathan as one.
Somebody's got it. He ain't coming home with me.
I think he begs to differ.
Knock knock.
And he puts knock knock on the bottom like he's going to be knocking on the door of the cab. So we get this care package with chocolates, condoms, boots, and an 8x10 glossy of a naked man with a buffalo robe over his shoulder.
What else can you ask for back in the middle of nowhere?
Well, you told me not to bring beer.
No, we had plenty of beer. I could use a shot of whiskey after seeing that picture. Jonathan is one of the characters from the Yukon chapter.
Alaska Yukon.
Does he
Alaska's premier NAVDA chapter. Just remember that.
What is?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't do anything better than this.
I mean,
I don't want to take. I don't know the chapter that well, but I will say this: what you do with birds, trailers, boxes? It's every chapter has a version of you, but not many have. Like your dad Blaine would be on that level of NAVDA, where like all the birds are there. I got this. I got that. Back in the day, he was the actual true backbone of the
No,
chapter.
that'd be my mother, not him. Let's be honest.
You know, you're right. Sorry, Patty. Patty, that's on me. That's on me. Blaine was there for the comedic effect.
Yeah, there you go.
Auctioneer.
I mean, it's a deal where you're seeing it all right here, right now at
Right.
my house. But I mean, we had a bunch of events up north of here in Palmer, Wasilla this summer, and Brannon and others at reside in those areas really took charge.
Doing all
too.
that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so
Brandon's up by Palmer.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, no, we're a pretty strong chapter. We got a lot of strong members, and we got our shit together.
I remember the first time I saw a NAVDA chapter in Alaska. I'm like, oh, they don't have any bird dogs in Alaska.
Yeah, right.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Dogs and planes.
Tooting your horn for you, coming into this, was it third time?
Third test of the
Yeah.
summer, yeah.
So
Test
they
weekend.
ran 3 tests,
Yeah.
and these guys, every with the clinic, they're everyone that shows up is there an hour early training.
Right.
These are serious
Hungry.
trainers.
Like hungry.
Oh,
These guys are
they
hardcore.
can't get enough.
Yeah.
Which is it's just as a trainer, you just love to see that in
Yeah.
handlers, and at the test, I mean, every handler is just enjoying. They
Right.
understood what they were going to do out there, and it's just a great group of people.
Yeah.
And every time I come back, it's the same group. They all work hard. They're all out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
I
Great
agree.
chapter.
I mean,
Great
you could
chapter.
see it. You could see the experience and training in your 2 dogs.
When I do this, that means louder.
I'm not used to somebody doing that to
Paying
me.
attention.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. Great. No, but you could see the experience in their dogs when we were duck hunting. Very patient. They've been out there. It was great. This chapter has their shit together. That's true.
Yeah, so we got to hunt with two prize 1 utility dogs
Yeah.
this weekend.
We don't have 2 in Michigan. you got 2 on. You got 200
We had 2 in a Suburban.
That was pretty. That was very cool. That was. I didn't get to see the whole test, but I saw the end of the test, and it was. I kept thinking like, where in because my only version of Alaska is Southeast Alaska and the North Slope of the Brooks Range, so I'd never been in this chunk.
Right.
But I'm thinking like, where would the bird dogs come from? How old is this chapter? Do you know?
6 years.
That's
Oh,
it. 6
wow.
years
6
old.
years old.
No
Yep.
kidding.
There's chapters around 20 years that don't have their stuff together this good. Not picking on a chapter, but it's hard to find. Like you're gonna have a big chapter, but you probably got, I'm gonna guess, 5 to 10 people that really,
Yeah, there's
You
a
can
real
count on-
real small core group of people
Right.
that just
and then the
do
rest
a lot of heavy lifting,
do the heavy lifting.
which is probably standard with most of your chapters.
I think so.
guessing.
You've seen that, Jason, over the years.
Yeah. I mean, there's the devoted.
Hey, put it this way: if you had 20 doing heavy lifting, there'd be 2 chapters pretty quick.
Yeah, but you
Right.
go ahead, look at their youth program. Look at their clinics and the number of people that come and do all. How many pro trainers you've had in 6 years? 6 pro trainers come
Yeah,
in?
probably. Yeah, at least close to 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Come
I mean,
up here for just a training clinic, not
Yeah.
not like a handler's clinic or rules and aim, just a training.
Yeah, we
clinic.
try to bring up new ideas,
Yeah.
so we don't get stagnant in our training.
Yeah,
Bring up somebody new every year.
Yeah.
Try to bring in different perspectives on how to look at dogs, how to train dogs,
right.
and just because you can do the same thing over and over and just not get the results, right?
Right.
And so
And sometimes that other trainer
sometimes
just
another trainer comes in and it's
it,
like,
click,
oh,
it clicks like
that's what I need to do for my dog.
right, right.
So yeah, we got that. But Jason mentioned the youth hunt. We got a women's and youth hunt coming up this weekend.
This Saturday.
2 days
Yeah.
from now, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. We got 45 registered participants. We got a wait list. The last I knew, we had 15 people on the wait list. We're going to have about 100 people in total between volunteers and participants at this. So it's going to be an awesome.
It's going to be a
and you get sponsorship from NRA.
Well,
Sparkle
NRA helped us
International.
last year. They purchased some firearms for us, some clay target throwers. We're partnering with Safari Club International, so we're really into partnerships. We got City of Soldotna sponsoring us this year. We have the Outdoor Heritage Foundation sponsoring us. We have NAVD International helping us out. So I mean, it's a big deal,
yeah.
and it's all about trying to bring in
New people,
new
young
people into the outdoor, whether it's upland hunting, whether it's shooting sports,
Yeah.
play targets, whatever it might be.
Yeah, it keeps us all on the same page of whatever. Even if they never go hunt,
Yeah.
they've done something that we do, and it resonates with them.
Well, I mean, if we recruit 2 or 3 people out of 45. I mean,
Right.
that's 2 or 3 more people. And the reason, the big thing for us, like we're targeting women
Right.
and youth, you know, and the
Yeah.
reason for the women is you get the moms involved.
Yeah.
Their kids come with them, you know. It's
So
a lot
the
of,
family.
yeah, exactly. So it's a lot easier
The
to,
secret of the Cottas.
yeah.
For sure.
The Cotta family.
matriarch.
The Cotta family from Maine. They park the car in the garage, and then Patty Cotta runs the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that. And then, are you done then for the year after this event Saturday?
We're done.
I mean, you're going to be getting snow here in a short time, and
I'm punching my
did.
ticket. We already got snow.
well, that's right,
We're going south.
right.
Yes.
You're going down to where we live.
We're going near. We're
In
going
fact,
to
you're
your
going to
neighborhood.
Michigan for a
I'm
wedding.
going to Michigan next weekend.
Ludington.
I'm going to stay at your house.
Right. Hey, honey. Oh, that's right. This won't release.
You may
till
want to let her know.
This won't release till after you've already stayed overnight. But is it okay if you stay in the Hogwarts room?
I don't care. I don't even know what that is, but
It sounds
he's so-
freaking awesome,
dude, he's-
Ron.
Tyler,
I know.
You know,
Do I
he's
need-
so not.
Let's not go down that
He's
road.
just so not hip.
Yeah,
do I need to bring the condoms?
No, you need to bring a wand.
oh,
You need to bring a wand, and the
Well, you
sorting
can call it
hat will
what you
figure
want.
out what.
oh.
He doesn't know Harry Potter.
It's okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
I don't have time for that.
So it is so awesome. I love coming. I've been up. It's probably my, I don't know, 12th, 13th trip to Alaska.
Wow.
But I've never swung my shotgun. And I was always pounding nails or fishing in Southeast or going up for caribou one trip in bear, but never. And I kept my shotgun over at Danny Ranella's house for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Vowed that if I ever come up here, I can grab. And then it turns out Ken works with Danny.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I mean,
it's just a
and
small
then
world.
and then your friend Frank from work
Yeah.
goes to Twin Lake, Michigan for vacation. Like, there's never more than 2 degrees of separation in dog world.
No.
It's crazy. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Andy, you have a Kleine Münsterlander.
Yes.
How the hell did you get that in Alaska?
Oh,
Or did you get it in the States?
I flew
The
down.
States. Like, this isn't one of them.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I flew down to New York in April to go pick her up.
You didn't take your plane.
No, I flew commercial.
Okay.
She got airdropped.
Yeah.
You went to New York to get it.
Yes.
What
Very
made you get a Munsterlander?
I used to have German short hair.
Yeah.
That was quite a bit of dog for me. Loved the way she hunted, but around the house
Just
wasn't what I was looking for. She was
Right.
too much energy.
so.
So I started looking for breeds with
Just a little.
better board demeanor around the house. You know?
Right.
And I didn't have any luck finding any puppies up here in Alaska, and I just happened to be flushing fire hydrants. I work for utility department here.
Well,
We're-
that would make sense.
Yeah, we're doing fire hydrant maintenance. I just happened to be standing outside this guy's house at the end of his driveway, messing with the fire hydrant, and out comes I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was a small Munsterlander.
A brown and white collie.
Yeah, and and it looked like he was.
I mean, if you don't know what they are, I mean,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, he was loading shotgun in the truck. It's like, huh, that's kind of interesting looking dog.
So that was how you found out about
Yeah.
the Munsterlander.
And he walked down and came and talked to me because there was a big puddle of water in front of his driveway. He's like
Yeah.
checking on stuff.
Thanks for fixing the puddle.
Yeah, I was like, hey, don't worry about this. It's just water, you know. Tell me about the dog. Because I had been looking for my short hair died 2 years ago, two
Yeah.
summers ago, and I was looking for one.
So you went all the way to New York. Flew
Yeah.
to New York, took it home back on the plane.
I just got lucky, and the first breeder that responded to me, her dad and her granddad were both VCs.
Yeah.
I just happened to stumble upon.
So did that get you into the NAVDA path?
Yeah, the breeder wanted me to
NA.
run NA for the dog. So, and after
Heard that story repeat itself a few thousand times
Yeah.
over the years.
I was just looking for a dog to hunt with and
Yeah.
to help me blood track stuff. Go do a lot of
Have you
game
done some
hunting.
blood tracking yet? Or
just
practiced
with
it a little bit?
birds.
Yeah.
I'm going down in a month to hunt in Nebraska in Missouri and Oklahoma for birds and for whitetails, and we're going to get whitetail, so we're going to do some practice on blood tracking there.
Brandon, your dog. Is this your first bird dog?
Yep. Yep. First
So
bird dog.
being in Alaska, how do you? Because I just never again, when they said there was a chapter in Alaska, I'm like, there's no bird dogs in Alaska. You just don't think of it. How did you get a bird dog? Like, what made you get one?
Hunting in the lower 48 with a buddy,
Okay.
and first pheasant hunting, we didn't have a dog, and it was like, there's a better way to do this, and then
I'll take one, Ty.
so started down that path, just looking
Okay.
at dogs, and I needed something that matched my beard, so I ended up
So-
with a grip.
And he's wearing the famous Fear the Beard sweatshirt,
You're all right.
which my friend Phil Higgins wears all the time. But so how did you find a griffin up here? Was it up here? Or did you have to go?
I had to go out.
Did you?
Yeah. So
Does
I found,
anybody breed dogs up here?
Well,
yeah, huskies.
Some.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sled dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just research, found a breeder. Looked.
So then you found the dog, and then you found Navd after that.
Yeah, in the same story.
Same.
Yeah.
Same venue.
Get the dog, and my biggest, first bird dog, big concern that I didn't want to not do the dog justice and screw the dog up.
Right.
The breeder pushed me towards NAVDA, and that's how I
Right.
kind of got involved. So, yeah, he's my first bird dog, and I've had some good luck with him, good success with him.
Yeah. And then Ken, you're from Ohio. You're a troll too, like all of us.
Oh yeah.
But you've been up here probably longest, right? I guess.
10
Yeah,
years.
out of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Over
did
20
you
years.
get a bird dog up here? Did you start in Ohio with bird dogs?
No, I grew up hunting small game in Ohio, but never had the opportunity to have it. I had an Irish setter growing up, but
Right.
that thing was crazy. I mean, I don't know what the deal was with this dog, but I don't remember much of it, even though I grew up with it.
Right.
But the one thing I do remember is it getting loose one day, taking off down the road. I'm like, oh, his name was Corey. I'm like, there goes Corey down the road. And we lived out in the country, dairy farms. Mm-hmm. Dogs can run for miles and miles and miles. This dog takes off down the road. I'm like, well, we'll see him in like 5 hours. Lo and behold, here comes the snowplow. What's in front of the snowplow? Corey. Snowplow's chasing Corey. Now he's going the other way. I'm like, oh, there's my dog, But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I really didn't get into bird dogs till I got up here, and my wife actually had, when I met her, she had 2 pointers.
Oh, that's right. She showed dogs.
Yeah, they were confirmation show
Yeah.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't hunt them. And then she ended up, against my best judgment, I adamantly told her no, but I kind of departed the state for a week or 2 on vacation, and she adopted a short hair, German short hair.
Here
from-
in town.
in Homer, Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah, there was 2 short hairs in the pound, and she keeps track of this stuff. And,
Right. And
like,
dog lover.
oh yeah, she loves dogs. Grew up Great Dane family actually. She grew up with her mom was a Great Dane breeder, and anyways, big dogs. Actually not to digest or
Or digress.
Digress, whatever.
Either one.
Yeah.
Well, we just had an excellent meal. So
Pour me
thank you.
another bourbon.
Right. How high is the water,
Yeah.
Mama?
Yeah, how high?
She said it's 2 feet high and rising.
Anyways, my first image of these Great Danes showing up at when I first started dating my wife, her mom just had a litter, and they're a puppy's the size of, I don't know,
Small Munsterlander.
Yeah, probably.
bigger, probably a big wire hair or something, and I'm like, they're running around the house, and I'm like, do they ever break anything? Oh no, they're good, they're good. Next thing I know, these 2 or 3, I can't remember at this time, Great Dane puppies. They're 8 weeks old. They're just getting ready to be picked up, but they're literally the size of, they're 90 pounds
Yeah.
already or something.
Yeah.
Come flying around the corner and they hit the couch. They're chasing each other, just playing games. And the couch goes flying over backwards. The credenza behind it with the lamp on it goes flying and hits the front window. And I'm just like, what in the hell is going on here? I was like,
3-ring circus.
yeah, no Great Danes in my life coming up. But anyway, so she grabs this short hair. And I'm just like, we went down to the pound and looked at this thing. And it was just barking its brain out.
Yeah.
"Oh, what the hell is this dog?" You know, yeah, just barking. Well, it ended up being like the best dog ever.
And it wasn't even in the back of a truck.
Was in the back of a truck.
It was in
Yeah,
Let's go back to that again. Well, best dog you ever owned?
best.
it was.
Was that
I
what
will
you just
admit,
said?
Yeah,
it was.
I think I heard it.
Oh, I'm telling Hetty.
It was.
Don't tell
As
Hetty.
soon as we get down here, I'm telling Hetty.
Everybody loved this dog. He was a food hound. He was just a food grub. Like I don't even know why we bought dog food. Thing just
Because
went
any
outside.
crumb, any kernel.
Yeah, they just let him outside. He'd eat moose poop, anything. He'd just suck it down. He's like a vacuum. You know, my neighbor he loved him, and he's a dog guy, and Clyde is his name. And
The dog's name?
no, my neighbor.
Neighbor.
Yeah, Deacon was the dog's name. Anyways, Clyde bought this. I don't know, stand to hold all these dog treats in. He had it pushed up in this garage, and Deacon just hauls ass over there and pushes this thing out from the wall, shoves it from the backside, opens it up, grabs all these treats, and runs back to my house. You know, I'm like, this is a smart ass dog.
He just
You know?
figured shit out.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, that's how I kind of got into dogs. But you know, the short hair is just they get cold up here.
Right.
So when he finally went away, or it was just before he went away. You know, he's getting old. He was 13 or 14, and
Oh, I thought you moved to Florida the way you said he went away.
well, his brother did.
Oh, no.
Anyways, yeah. So we wanted something a little bit more durable, so we got in the wire hairs.
Coat wise and
Coat wise, yeah, something that can handle. And these wire hairs, they can just play outside all day in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get? Did you have to go Did you have to go out of here to get?
Yeah. So we have 2 wire hairs, and currently, and we got them both from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah. So we fly
That's
back.
like going all the way damn near New York.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, same thing. Fly back there.
So how did you do the research for it? Like, is it
Well, it's
literally a Google deal? I mean, did you Google?
No. I mean,
did you
it's
start talking to
through a
people?
bunch of networking and just my wife grew up in the dog world, so she
That helps.
she had pointers from actually New Jersey.
She even would know some good questions to ask.
Oh, yeah,
just some of
totally.
that stuff.
Yeah, and so around and around and around we go for 2 years trying to get a dog.
Yeah.
And we landed on a breeder and just waiting for the right moment. But yeah, I mean, if to get a good dog out of a good breeder, it's gonna take you a couple of years.
It can't. Yeah, you could get lucky, but
Yeah,
you can count on a couple years.
yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you? Tyler, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Little dog history here.
All right, what's the question?
Your dog background.
Okay. Well, I grew up doing the NAVDA thing. With the Carters, were good friends of my parents, so I was brought up in this hunting dog
Did
environment.
your parents have a dog from the Carters?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most of their dogs. I think they had 2 or 3. Either way, growing up, when I turned 30, my mother-in-law, Tenley, decided to give me a German short-haired pointer for my 30th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
your dad
right on.
had them. You've been around
Yeah, my
them.
dad and mom had them.
But this was
And
yours.
they did the whole NAVDA thing with the Carters and the Yankee chapter of NAVDA.
the Cotters.
The Carters.
Cotters. That sounds like Welcome Back Cotter.
So I kind of got thrown. I always wanted a dog, and one was thrown in my lap. Okay, that wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, yeah, a dog was thrown in my lap. I didn't really look at genetics much or anything. It was just, here's your new pup.
Did it come from
It
Mary
came.
breeds?
There were similar lines in the past.
back in the
Yeah,
pedigree?
but it was pretty much okay. Here's your when your mother-in-law gives you a dog for your 30th birthday, you take her, and you name her Cedar, and you go through the whole process.
Was there a suggestion, like who's gonna name the dog, or did
No,
you?
I always had this thing of, like all my dogs
'Cause you
are
live
named
in
after
Maine.
trees.
Cedar's
I got
kinda
a
lame.
cedar, birch, and an alder so far, but
What is it? Cedar,
birch and alder. Those are my 3
and then
dogs.
Patty goes
With wine.
Moscato.
They're all wines.
All wines. Can't you guys come up with something else?
My dog's named after my airplane.
Yeah.
Piper.
I mean,
Yeah.
What are your dogs?
yeah.
named
What's your
after,
dog's
Ron?
names?
I go to great lengths to find names that are not used. Like
Yeah.
you will not look. I guarantee you could search.
Bravo?
You ever met a Bravo? Guarantee you haven't. Look it up. Google it. There's never been a Bravo.
Shit, where's my phone?
How about Desi? Had a Desi. You've never heard of Desi. Zeigen, my favorite wire hair.
Well, I've never heard that. name.
Zeigen, the German verb to point or show.
Well, anyway, her name was Cedar.
Like you serve fish on a cedar plank. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but this is the one your mother-in-law gave you.
Yeah, it was very cool, and probably the dog that taught me most about what not to do. And,
Well, what is the first dog designed to do?
yeah,
Teach you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
Oh,
screw up your first dog, you know, just so you
it's
can
not
learn
even
how
you
to train
screw
your
it up.
second.
You just,
I stumbled around with it.
just yeah, that's a good
You
way
know,
to say
I'd
it.
fail. You know, the Cotters would help me out, do this, do that, and we tested a few times.
Yeah.
And you know, she
NA
taught
and
me.
beyond, or
Oh yeah, we did 3 utility tests, but
I had a dog that I did that with.
but she's
Never
a great
passed
dog.
it.
And we also have a Doberman Pinscher, and I have a new DK out of Scott's Kennel down there.
Oh, Scott Caldwell.
Yeah, his name's Alder, and
Of course it is.
well, I told you I name them after
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah. Next one's gonna be Walnut.
But anyway,
Ironwood.
well, I was kind of
Be
thinking.
careful when you give the dogs those names, you know, because sometimes the name kind of makes the temperament and the personality.
But anyway, that all that shit got me right down thick with NAVHDA,
Got
so that's
deep,
where I'm
deep,
at now.
deep.
Yeah,
So you still have,
I got 2 short hairs and
you
a
still
Doberman.
got Pine Box, or what's his name?
Pine Box. Kyle.
No, I got Tyler. Don't screw me up.
Well, no, I have Kyle and
So how many dogs do you have?
3.
Oh, you got 3 now.
Yeah, a Doberman. It's my wife's.
We don't count that.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
count that.
Well, then I have 2 German short hair pointers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your second one
Yeah, Alder.
came from
Scott Caldwell out of Rusty Gun.
right from Rusty Gun. The first one came from Breeder Up in Your Way.
She was an accident.
It just got it.
Yeah.
And they're both still kicking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they're great.
Now this would probably be like everybody would know it, but they wouldn't. Jason Carter's with us. Where did you get your first dog from, Jason?
Boy.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say what is my first dog because,
Right.
you know, growing up, you know, the dogs, you know, as they go, they get to a point where they're retirement age.
Right.
Well, Jason, here's your dog. Here,
Right.
here's a gift to you.
Right.
You got an old dog, but they're VCs and they're fully trained. So,
Right.
you know, it was. I would consider my first dog being not my dog, but
Somebody that
you know,
a dog that
retirement
mom
dog.
and dad said,
yeah. So took it up to college.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Yeah, Britta.
Britta. Okay.
Britta. Took Britta up to college.
Which is the name of a filter.
Yeah, water filter.
Water.
But I remember the
Whatever.
dog he was talking about.
BC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took it up to college. You know, she was joined a fraternity. She was the fraternity dog. And,
I love it.
you know, off we went every weekend. We go hunt birds, woodcock, grouse. You
In
know,
frat houses.
frat houses. Oh my God, we had such a good time with that dog. And then after I graduated, I got my first dog. It was DK.
Mm-hmm.
I had my father's dog. Yeah, there's dog imported. You get a puppy from that dog, and then bred that dog, and I got my first dog. You know,
Like a first dog that you were going to take from 8
from
weeks.
beginning to end.
8 weeks on.
Right.
Yeah.
My own.
I'm already lost.
Jay, tell them about that. Jason,
Okay.
tell them about that.
was
first
was
dog.
DK his name, or was that the type of
Okay.
dog?
Go ahead, Jason.
Deutsch Cursor.
No, you got
I
to say
know.
it better. Deutsche.
Deutsche.
Deutsche Kurzer.
Kurzer. Okay.
Kurzer.
Damn,
Exactly.
Wow.
So I got my first DK from
Gotta say it right.
my father's bitch, which was an amazing dog. But you know
But, there's a but.
you know how you're supposed to pick the right dog. You know, you do all this testing and you get everything right, and you're like, oh, that's the dog for me. I picked my dog. I did it all the wrong ways. You know,
Right.
Put my hand in the litter, and the first one that walked up to me, I'm like, oh, that's
Like a
it.
Ouija
That-
board.
That's fate.
Oh, the Ouija board
that one's
says.
for me. But you know, I'm going to be chasing that bar forever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, he
you should not have that dog as your first dog.
Yeah.
You know, he
Berkeley.
was an amazing dog.
Berkeley.
Yeah, Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burkwood.
Yeah.
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Brock
Berkeley.
Fonder.
That's not
Mary
the name
Meeting.
of a wine. Oh, your mom's dogs are named wines.
Yeah.
You
No.
could. You don't have to go outside of the. Can you
No.
stay out? Can you stay outside of the wine family with your dogs?
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
That dog was incredible.
Yeah.
In what department? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
all of
mean?
them.
Like,
Like,
I could,
Personality?
truly versatile.
yeah,
You know, rabbits. We're talking.
deer.
Yeah,
I mean, blood
ducks,
track.
blood tracking. I mean, he was phenomenal in every aspect. You know, so you know, after that, you know, he was an alpha male. You bring him to camp, you got to be careful of other alpha males. You have to,
Yeah.
you know,
that's
you
the
do the male
downside. That's-
dance. You know,
That's the
and
downside of it.
so after that, I'm like, I went to females out of him.
Right.
So I got my next dog. And then from that, I got my next dog, you know. And they're all DKs and
Yeah.
just absolutely enjoying the versatility of a DK.
Do the females tend to not have the alphaness to them, or do they have it too sometimes?
Oh, they do sometimes.
Yeah. But no more
as far
than any
as far
other.
as my experiences go, you know, when we go up to camp, there's times there's 22, 27 dogs up there.
Up at Wakahimi, whatever the name of that camp
What
is.
the Fakawi?
Fakawi?
What
What
the
the
Fakawi?
Fakawi? That's
Yeah.
what the Fakawi.
Yeah, we go up to camp. There's a
20 some dogs.
yeah, some years we have a ton of dogs up there, and
seen it.
the females get along. Everybody lets their dogs out, and everybody's getting along. But
They're all taking peas and whizzes
yeah,
and feeding.
and a lot of the males do too.
So your camp's pretty much like what everybody wants to move away from.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's like
yeah.
a sled dog.
Well, speaking of that, we certainly do a fair amount of sled dogging.
Yeah, you guys do.
ski
You do
joring.
ski
And, yeah, for sure. But
You guys do that up here in Alaska?
No.
Okay, next subject.
Wait, one of your dogs from this
Tim
past
Top.
test was pretty deep in ski
Luli.
joring, right?
Oh yeah, no, I was just joking. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
To do that?
Why would you want to strap yourself to a dog?
I have no idea. I just see it every year when Patty puts a post up on Facebook, and you guys do, and I'm like, those dogs are pulling them through the woods.
Yeah, up here they don't have a whole lot of trees. Down our way,
Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
it's a little bit of an
dangerous.
adventure.
A little dangerous. All right, so we got a little background on everybody. Let's talk about grouse hunting in Alaska. Andy,
Yeah,
you have anything to throw in?
the shots are usually pretty easy.
How often do you miss?
Not very.
And it's because the bird is
Oh man.
Not flying.
not flying. That might have picked that up.
You're talking shit over
Boy,
there, huh?
Ooh, that one's on me. My bad. Well,
You're waving it right at Ken.
well, we're not going to need smelling salts. Wow.
Window, please.
Oh, no, it's windows open. That's just me.
This will all be edited out.
No, nothing's getting edited.
What?
Here. We're dragging you all down with
Oh,
me
God.
to my level. So, road hunting. All right, so,
I do it on trails too, not
Right.
just roads.
yeah.
It's pretty much pathways.
Berries, patches.
So these are spruce grouse up here. And it's really, I mean, not the only way to hunt them, but
We have rough grouse too.
yeah, but not right
Not
here.
on the peninsula.
Not right here on the peninsula. But I bet you even your roughies, though, if they're not hunting much, they're not. Are they much more wary though?
Not
the roughies.
No.
Yeah, I mean they're not like the eastern, upper Midwest roughies that challenge dogs and gunners alike.
I'll take your word on that. I don't know.
No, he stepped
Well,
on
when
my
you come to
toes.
Ludington, I might get you out of Crystal Valley for a
Exactly.
night.
There
Yeah.
we go.
But where was I going with that? Oh, okay, road hunting. Road
Yeah.
hunting. It's just what you do. A spruce grouse. I feel like if they lived somewhere where there was people pushing them all the time, because I've hunted rough grouse in Canada, they weren't much different than spruce grouse here. I had one walking in front of me, and I was like trying to make it fly just to see, like, is it a grouse? Am I going to hear its wing? it just kept looking at me like, "What do you want? What do you want?"
What
So-
is this thing doing?
Right. So these act like birds, and because it's so big and so wild, not that many people do it. They act like birds that haven't been hunted by man. So it's not crazy to, expect them to act like that.
Well, their alternative name is stupid chicken.
Stupid.
Fool's hen. I've heard that one. Yeah.
But also, I mean, Brandon and I went out
Today.
today.
Yeah.
We get off the roads and actually push back in the woods, and we played around with the firs, and you get into the spruce islands,
Yeah.
and we got to figure out. I mean, I got to figure out the game, watching his dog work, and I mean, we worked one spruce that we actually got, but same deal. The dog hooked in, made scent. We saw the spruce grouse. As soon as we got in on it, jumped up in the tree.
Jump in a tree.
Yeah.
Like they just don't give you that.
They don't take off for the hills like a
No.
roughie.
They take off like, I got to get out of their way, so I'll get on a limb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it costs them their life a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time.
So, all right. Who had on the way in? So, we're talking about road hunting here, like Randy Newberg does in Minnesota. It's not like I'm the only one. We're going in on this. What is it? Oh wait, Mystery Creek.
No. Well, we
No.
were technically off Mystery Creek. We're on a gas pipe.
Oh, that's
two
right.
track.
That's right. I saw the sign. No, I saw the sign. I'm like, I saw the sign. I'm like, it's a mystery where we're going. Anyway, so we easy, Charlie. Anyway, we go through this. I don't know. It was a 3-hour ride on that trail. That 2.5 hour. It was, because it took us 2.5 to get out until the fuel pump went. Yeah, it was.
Maybe an hour.
It was, it's your math again.
It was a long time to get out there.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you
So
weren't.
so we had a heavy snow prior to getting out there,
Yeah.
and so all the trees broke off and landed in the trail.
Trees were, and we didn't get word of one of them out of the way. The Suburban pushed them out like a D9 bulldozer.
And then there was the half-inch ice that we broke out on the way in.
On the trails, in the ruts, in the lakes. But I want to go to who shot the first spruce grouse?
Mr. Carter.
That was Jason.
Jason shot the first one.
Yep.
And then
Is
Kyle.
pheno-
Kyle.
Phenomenal.
I said it. God dang it! I said it. Did Tyler get out for the second one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And he missed it.
Was that the second bird?
I believe so.
I think so. We gotta get this
I
thing.
feel like that was like the third round.
Third round.
Yeah.
Well, he
It
missed
might have been.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not quite sure if he's never patterned a shotgun before or not. I'm not quite sure if he had those field trial popper loads.
Yeah.
But at that point, he's like, I don't want to go out and shoot. How do you miss a stationary grouse? Right? That's like saying, you think you could run your truck into the side of my house and missing the house? I mean, it's pretty hard to do.
That's pretty. That's,
Tyler.
yeah. Poor Tyler.
It's a probably exaggeration. But then he finally redeemed himself.
Yeah.
Then he really redeemed himself with the 22.
Oh yeah.
He shot the eyeball. Even if he was pointing at the ass, he shot the eyeball out of that grouse
Yeah.
on the way back out.
Yeah.
But it's just what you do out here. You get camp meat. We had, Jesus, the best meal ever. What was that meal you made? A curry.
Red curry and grouse.
Did you feel like you were at a 5-star restaurant for dinner tonight?
It was unbelievable.
And that's no. This is not the beer talking.
No.
This is like, where do you go that you get, again, your boots airdropped in 5-star cuisine?
Well, I mean,
Alaska.
Men don't even cook in Michigan.
well, I mean, I don't know. For me, anyways, you go out, you spend all this time and effort harvesting something.
You
right?
want it.
You want it,
Yeah.
and the best thing
You're not
is,
going to wrap it in bacon.
well, you don't want to wrap it in bacon, but you don't want to just freeze it right away, right? You want to enjoy it. You want to experience
Right.
What you just went through.
Right.
And so, we try to, every time we get back from whatever adventure we're on or hunt,
Something's getting cooked up.
something's getting cooked up.
Special.
Yeah. Like the first moose I ever shot, not to digress again.
No, we got digression up the wazoo.
Man, my buddy and I, we sat on a boat and we seared tenderloin every which direction you can sear a tenderloin and marinate it, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
And that, same thing with birds. You put all this effort into harvesting a bird, and let's cook something fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was.
You may eat everything that you
I
just
will-
shot and worked for, but
I can,
That's fine.
other than pizza in Chicago, being a pizza snob, I don't remember a meal that I could have flavor it was crazy good.
yeah.
It was better than the shooting we had.
I don't know. The shooting was
No. I mean
Well-
some of the road hunting, because I want to go back to when you were
come
gone,
on now.
Tyler. we talked about.
Okay, let's recap. What did you guys say?
Here we go. We're gonna spin back.
Okay, and
And Tyler
Okay.
missed his first 2 road grouse.
that was Kyle. And somebody put poppers in my gun.
I'll go with it. I'm gonna give you that.
But I also saw other people miss.
You did, but
All
at
right.
that point you had.
It's not on video, though.
That's true. Oh shit, that was on video.
Oh yeah, we got it
Come
on
on.
video.
Well, we got some of Ron too. So
And but we're going down the road and we see a road bird, and they'll get up in the tree or they'll go branch, and sometimes they fly out of the tree, but none of us were lucky enough to do that. Yeah, the first one is right. You went after the first grouse. That's right, because at the T road where we turned,
Yeah.
it was the first one. You wanted to bring home a spruce grouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for 2 days, we saw about as many spruce grouse as we saw. Now, as they saw ducks.
Me and Jason saw ducks.
Jason saw ducks.
I was gonna say,
We pulled the trigger more.
we saw a lot of ducks.
But it's so humbling when you're looking at a bird and you raise your shotgun barrel and you know you got a pattern that's anywhere from 12 to 30 inches, and you pull the trigger and the bird looks at you like, "What's up?"
Yeah, but you got 5 guys back in the truck that you have to.
Is that what you guys were doing? Oh man.
No. We were laughing
Yeah,
with you, not
I'm
at you.
sure.
The pressure is definitely on, though.
Right.
I mean, it's just like, come on.
Right.
So Ken, you talked about Alaska expeditions.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in your home, you have amazing expeditions just hanging
man.
on your wall in there.
Yeah.
So explain to us, like, as far as Alaska goes, you got hunting year round essentially.
Sure. Yeah, you can. I mean, whether it's big game, small game, you pick it, you can probably go target it somewhere. Always something to do, and I don't do it as much anymore, but, when I was dating my wife and whatnot, we'd take off and go do expeditions all year long. And, the trophies on the wall, whatever you want to call them. I've never been a big trophy hunter, but, I mount things just to make me remember
I call them keepsakes.
keepsakes. Yeah, just remember the event and the adventure, and yeah, I got lucky that day, so we got lucky on this trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we
so.
Yeah.
Did. I'll go back to the spruce grouse on the road story though. Okay.
Mine?
And Kyle or Tyler?
Sorry,
No,
Kyle.
I think you and me a little bit here.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
I can't
So,
wait to hear this
On,
one.
on day 2, on day 2, I already said I am not going out there. I mean, I just couldn't do justice to how.
Ron was like a Bronco, just refusing to do anything.
Yeah, like really,
I didn't go there.
no,
Just officially speaking, I did not go there.
no, but it's a good analogy because they would just as soon watch TV like I would. And then you make them go, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna take me a day or 2 to get in shape." And I was dying coming out of that swamp. And then, anyway, we got out of that. But
You felt good though when you got out.
yeah, it always feels good.
You're like,
it's like
"Holy
nobody
shit, I
brags
made it."
about a carnival ride. It was fun. What are you gonna tell that story 50? I'm gonna tell this story for 50 years,
Yeah.
or I'll be dead. But so Ken says, he goes, well, come on, we'll go to the other end of the. I think I got a beer. Yeah. Well, there it is. You got it. So the next day, Brandon and Tyler and Jason go back to where we got all the birds, thinking they're gonna be as good as us. Anyway, they went back there. They acted more like duck hunters, and they didn't. But the birds weren't there. I mean, really, the birds weren't there.
Brandon, I believe our percentage was a little bit better than theirs.
Our hit rate was definitely a hot.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 out of 2 birds. I don't know if that's enough data.
Came back with a dozen birds.
Well,
And it didn't take.
Dozen?
Well, I might be elaborating a little bit.
Kyle was there for both days.
I was.
Yeah.
It was just 2 completely different days.
It was.
The
It was.
ducks coming in from completely different directions. The first day,
The ducks that we had there.
And listen, I'm not a major duck hunter, but that first day,
No, we could tell. We saw you shoot. We,
Oh.
yeah.
what kind of language am I allowed to use on your podcast, Rob?
Anything you want besides George Carlin's 7 words you can't say it.
Oh, like that, then I'm screwed. Okay. But it seemed like that first day, these ducks had never seen people.
And it's very likely.
That's possible.
I mean, or if the people they saw were doing something in their backyard when they're flying over.
We were standing up, walking around, just flocks of ducks coming in.
Right.
Like all angles.
It's always when you're out to go pick up something, okay, you're quiet. Ken would take his dog to go look for a bird that went down. And we're like, Ken, get down. And another flock. I've seen it before, though. I mean,
Well,
I think
it's all about motion. You
Right.
throw motion. I mean, you're out there, and it's just like it's flat, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
They can see.
I mean, we watched Brandon and Jason walk off into the
Oh, yeah.
distance, and they were
For-
just a mirage out there.
It was like, we could watch them for about the first 40 minutes. That's how far you could
yeah,
see flat.
And so, if you got a little bit of motion, those birds kind of cue in on that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not surprising every time somebody got up to go do something, it was like you sat right back down because all of a sudden flocks of birds.
I had a theory on that, though. When your dog would be out, Henley would be out getting a bird.
Headley Lamar.
Headley Lamar.
Yeah.
That's from Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Best dog name ever.
Yeah. I'm with you though, Ron. Pick a name that nobody has.
Right. Headley.
Yeah. Headley Lamar. Her
And-
name's Hetty though, but
I know.
Well, correct.
But it's funnier to be Headley.
I know.
So, you think about ducks coming in. They're thinking about predators. They've probably never been shot at. And there's a dog going on in a 100-yard retrieve. And sometimes, out of habit, we go like, Headley, come here, hurry up. I swear the ducks are probably looking at that dog who's going out to do the retrieve. They ain't paying attention to us because we're standing up scratching our butts.
Well, weren't some of them landing with her right in the middle of the
They
pond?
were everywhere.
And we're
It
like,
made
oh, we
no
can't shoot the
sense
dogs out
From
there.
the first day to the second day.
The dog's like, aren't you going to shoot him?
Ron, you had your hat turned inside out. You
With
had
an
orange on.
Glasses?
Glasses.
And the bird
Sitting
just
back in your
kept-
red chair.
They were like the top 40. The tunes just kept coming.
That was an epic day.
We were standing most of it. I mean,
I was standing a lot.
we knelt some, but we stood some.
We were standing, walking
we
around.
walked
They did
around
not
some.
care about us the first
Yeah.
day. Second
Shot
day,
some
not
while
so
you're going out to pick up some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Ken's shooting 2-shot at teal. Nice thing is
Smoking
when
them.
nice
Smoking
thing
them.
is when you hit him.
It
only takes one
held
baby.
it together.
Well, you never know what you might encounter.
I got to go back to the road hunt though, where I'm not letting this
Jeez.
go by. Okay, so at this point, I have not missed a road bird, which I would feel is like okay, if I can hit a
Let's
rough
define road bird.
bird. Road bird is a
Trail-
bird.
trail bird.
Trail bird. A road bird or a trail bird is a bird that is not flushed in one, and you're not taking it on the wing.
Yeah.
You mean an Alaskan bird?
Alaskan birds, good name for it. There probably should be a beer named after that.
Some people call it ground sluicing.
I think that's tacky. Ground swatting, Arkansas. I think that's all tacky.
It tastes so much better. The way they're not
Well,
tired
look
from
at the
flying.
way Ranella shoots blue
Not-
grouse
not
up in
so
Alaska,
distressed.
right? 22 up in a tree. So we're gonna get them.
Yeah.
Not gonna get them to come off the ground for a fly, and they're tasty as could be. But anyway, for the first day, I think I shot 3 on the way in. I had not missed one, and I'm always thinking of like content. And you picked up on that real quick. So Ken and I peel off on day 2 to go to another piece of the flats, a lot easier walk.
I was feeling sorry.
But that morning, you already missed a bird on the ground or a branch, and then you were on like 4 misses in a row.
Oh,
Wasn't it 4?
all of a sudden, Kyle's not looking so bad.
You only missed 2. Then you picked up the pace,
Well, I
Tyler.
have no clue what you guys said while I was outside.
I was not having a good day.
That
You told me your words were, "I need a designated shooter."
I said that, yes.
That's American League rules.
Yeah.
Does that include the 22 shot?
yeah, that's probably not counting the one that he missed when we went and picked up the bag.
Oh, that-
the
that-
airdrop.
That was the day before, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I
all
know
right.
how it
So
feels.
we're,
But within a 24-hour period, that adds one more to it.
My quota is not very good.
Mine either. Kyle.
So we're going down the road, and now there's a bird. We go, oh, no, there's 2 birds. 2 birds. So he grabs his shotgun, and he gets in front of the truck, and these birds are literally, they're not perfectly lined up, but there's probably not 2 birds distance between them. And Ken decides to go for both of them at the same time, which everybody knows is flock shooting. and
How
both,
could I miss?
how could you miss? Well, you're shooting BBs.
At that point,
At
yes.
that point, you were down to
you shouldn't
BBs.
steal.
Well, what else did I have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a conservationist. I don't try to throw as
I'm not
much.
going to throw lead into the
No.
the forest. But anyway, those 2 grouse fly out of her life, and he says, "I need a designated shooter." He says, "You're up. You're up. I'm done." So, and I haven't missed anything yet, and I'm thinking like, oh, I can't wait to do this podcast later because I'm gonna
Ron's
be old.
chest was so far
Oh,
out
yeah.
in front of me. it
Oh,
was
okay,
tripping
here
on.
we go.
Right.
Here we go.
And so I see a bird. Well, I got one down by, it went into the river, but I see a bird. I'm like, oh, okay. And you can tell a really mature one. It's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm all excited. And
Well, talk about the color of them. You say mature.
oh yeah, they get really darker and blacker. But I don't know if I could tell them at a distance. But
Yeah.
when you hold them, spruce, you can tell
They're
a
pretty
first
cool.
year bird and a second year bird. And I think we had at least 1 or 2 that were a 2.5-year-old bird. You know, full, been out there for 2 seasons because you can really see that red band.
It's really beautiful bird.
It is,
Yeah, they are cool.
and it is. It's like a rough grouse on better color.
I mean, everybody gives them
golden
like,
band.
oh, it's a stupid chicken. Yes, you shot
Yeah.
a stupid chicken. But when you get up close and look at them, they're
They're beautiful.
pretty phenomenal
Yeah.
bird.
And it's really not another. Yes, you've hunted them. You guys could take a trail. You could get a flush, but it is the way it is. You know. But so I can't help but think like I have not missed one. I have not. I'm going to be the only guy that has not missed a sitting bird on this trip. What happens when you think like that?
You miss.
I missed. Not only did I miss, I got a 2-barrel gun from Belgium made in 1946 that's cooler than everybody else's guns. And I see, cooler than your gun.
Okay.
And
I didn't even know how to operate the damn
yo,
thing.
you're like,
Like, there's 2 triggers on
he's
this
like got a
thing.
big
Just
L
pull
on his
one.
forehead. Which trigger would I pull? Either one doesn't matter. And so I'm like, okay, I got this bird. Of course, it's not a challenge. It's like, I'm just gonna shoot the bird on the ground. I shoot. The bird's still standing there. Then the bird flies away, and I fancy myself as a wing shooter. And this bird goes right up across the trail.
Just a beautiful, like,
I mean, up straight away.
Perfect one.
almost straight quartering, just slightly.
And
Just
you missed?
Completely.
Oh, thank God.
Completely. And I came back and I'm like, God, I didn't want to do it. And he goes like, you were thinking of content for the podcast sometimes. I was. Because I wanted to be the only one that actually got one flying.
most people here have kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, besides Andy, his kids is playing. But
In his kleine Münsterlander.
yeah.
Was
yeah,
that one a kid could have taken?
Yeah, exactly.
Thought you were
It's
going
like
there.
it's
It
like
was a
taking,
layup.
it's
That bird does not fly fast.
well, it's like taking
Even
a
when they fly,
balloon
Yeah.
They don't
and
fly
just
fast.
deflating that balloon.
We only fly 10 feet.
Well, no, that first corner one that you shot at when we first saw those two.
Oh yeah.
When you went into the woods to look for one, the other one did peel
Oh,
across, and he cleared. He went, I don't know, 60, 80 yards. He was gone.
Yeah, but you're right.
But it's not fast.
They fly like a chucker.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I got to pause this thing for just 1 second. So road hunting for grouse is not as easy as I thought it was. So I also proceeded to miss another grouse. And then you missed a flock shot. And then you missed another shot. And then I missed one up in a tree.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were picking on me there.
No,
for a
no.
second. I was waiting
and
for it.
No, it was like back and forth. And then we're like, we're done. We both need a designated. It was
We don't deserve to shoot at anymore.
anymore. Like, no, it's embarrassment.
Yeah.
How do you miss, like, between the two of us, probably 6 or 7 birds?
But I will say the one you shot at,
Was easier?
it was like 5 feet away.
My pattern was smaller.
Maybe 8 feet.
I would have never taken an 8-foot shot.
Hey, Brandon,
I'm trying to take off
we were
the
taking
head.
60-yard shots and smoking those. Mallards and,
Yeah.
and smoking. I mean, I was really impressed with that
I
shot
see.
you took the other day.
Oh,
That
so-
last
I mean,
one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
last
long
one.
That
shot.
was
That was
pretty
beautiful.
So you guys
That
are
was-
willing to push the limits a little bit.
Yeah, we were in the outside of our range.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there's another one. Now I'm going to go back to our.
And I waited.
Our main-
I let the guests empty their guns, and then I stood up
Then
and
you
shot.
You know,
pulled
I
up
will
and
say
shot.
something.
That's
And
pretty good.
Not to be
I got
schmaltzy,
lucky, but I hit it.
No, shut up.
not
No,
to
you
be
did well.
schmaltzy, but Jason and Tyler and I are guests here,
Yeah.
and you guys like are. I don't want Jonathan to listen to this. You guys are not bending over backwards because you know where it's gonna go with that. How do I say it? More than
Very gracious host.
yeah, but there's like another level of
Yeah, you're
gracious
right.
host. It's,
No,
it's
you're right
like
about that.
just so
I feel
like
comfortable here.
what, and you told me, you said, you come to my home, make it your home. You don't get that everywhere.
Yeah, I want to babysit your ass every day.
Right. And you're not good at communicating.
No, I'm
'Cause,
not.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to back up the trailer for the trailer. I can unhook a trailer, damn it. Anyway, but no, it's when you travel like we did, this is like a camaraderie. And I think, I'm sure it's in some deer hunting worlds. There's probably some bowlers in the world that could all get along. I doubt it because they're all competing for a score. But when you get around bird hunters, it's like 90% of the time, it's just like this. You can go to another state, another place, and there's just like, well, how did they make so many clones of us? It's just all different ages and versions of the same silliness, and gracious. That's what I was looking for. Gracious. It's
Yeah.
just like you, Brandon. You told me a story of. We'll leave all the names out, but like, you had to drive a vehicle back to Anchorage in an enclosed trailer as part of a test function. Like, who would have to do that? Nobody.
That's a whole nother story.
I know, but you guys are so used to like just helping each other out. Somebody's like, "Well, I got a trailer. Oh, okay, I guess I can do it." Yeah, I'm not saying there's not some people in the lower 48 to do this, but I think it's because you guys live in this godforsaken wilderness that things could eat you.
But Ron, you got to understand that we just ran through a test. He set up the test. He was the gunner at the test. He spoke for the test. Next day, he's taking us hunting. He's
Yeah.
guiding us all the way through the process.
Yeah. Wow. It's
And
a
his
lot.
wife tolerates us being here.
Let's go
She's an
there.
angel.
Well, you're assuming.
Well, so far I haven't gotten a glare, but
No,
Jenny's a peach and
Yeah,
a
for
half.
She is. She's awesome.
For sure.
I mean, she's a real true. She's a real true Alaskan.
No, it's great. You know,
That's what I love about this stuff. The people you meet.
we don't get a lot of visitors up here.
So it's like,
So when you come, it's just like, somebody's coming
So
to
it's like-
see us.
So it's like the farmers in North Dakota, like,
we don't
haven't
wanna-
talked to anybody but the postman for
Yeah,
a month,
exactly. Yeah, not really, but yeah.
it's. I've been around the country a whole bunch doing these events and judging back in the day, and I mean, there's a level of like there's good, better, best, and then there's just like this other. It's like in the DK system where you can get an 11 or a 12.
Yeah.
As opposed to
DD.
it's 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Except if something's really, really good, you give it an 11 or a 12. I mean, you guys are like 11 and 12.
Oh,
I mean,
hell
I think part of it is like we realize like you guys are wanting to come to it's Alaska, right? Yeah.
41 years I've been waiting to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit of like us wanting to
Show you the
Alaska.
best. Show you the cool.
show you what it's like.
Yeah.
This is what you've been waiting to come to do,
Right.
and not just judge another test, but
and then go home and
exactly. You know, we get judges that come up and
go fishing and
or judge a test and leave. You know, but
well, that'd be a shame. I mean,
it is a shame.
Not that many people get to go to Alaska.
Exactly.
And
And so when you're here,
Very
we
small
want to make the best of it.
well,
Well,
you guys
it's
do.
much
You guys do.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's a long ways for you guys to come too. You know,
It is
extra
a
day
long
of travel.
flight, but again, I mean that's not the thing. It's just I like hearing what you said. It's just you got somebody coming. You're like, it's not that you want to show them a good time. You want to show them like something that makes you same thing that makes you love Alaska. You want to show us.
This is what makes
Like-
us tick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when your parents host guests, they have a lobster bake.
Yeah.
Try to
Yeah.
show them what Maine is.
Same
right?
as
Right.
Exactly.
That was it was similar going up to Blaine and Patty's, and I got in there late and they had lobster on the stove.
Yeah.
Like you came here from Michigan, you don't have a damn lobster. We know that for a fact. And I had a lobster.
So if
Waiting
I
for
ever
me.
become a judge, not that I'm gonna become a judge,
You
Because
should.
you're smarter
Oh, well,
than
here
that.
we go.
and if I judge the test in Michigan, would you like give me a truck or something? What would
Yeah,
you
what
give
do you
me?
get in
Well,
Michigan?
we would take you to the Flint
what would
Auto plant.
happen?
We'd take you to the Flint Auto plant and show you how trucks are made.
Oh, okay.
And then we would take you to the Chevy Suburban plant.
and get him some parts.
and get him some parts. Well, we have to go into the archives to get some parts.
Tell me how this damn thing operates.
No, we would show you. We would show you
Diagnostics.
lighthouses, and you'd be like, going boring. And then we'd show you the Tulip Festival in Holland. You're like, oh, Jenny might like the Tulip Festival. She likes
She
bulbs.
could.
Yeah, she might like
likes
the
flowers.
Tulip Festival. Yeah, you're right. We would try to show a little something, but most of the time when you go somewhere, it isn't an in and out thing. And when you come here, it's like, well, you're going this far.
Yeah.
See a little piece of the country,
Exactly.
at least for a day or an afternoon or something. And
And Ron, every time I've been here, it's been a new facet of Alaska. It's been
right,
float
you didn't get
trips
to
and-
duck hunt before, or
No,
you know,
duck hunt.
we'd be ptarmigan hunting if we didn't get 4 feet of snow in the mountains.
Yeah. Well, Andy, thanks to him, he just saved you like 14 miles of walking.
I would have died.
And also
I
an
would've died.
avalanche.
He just
Recovery.
saved your life.
Yeah.
Again, your neighbor, remember the chapter says, well, let me just take my Piper Cub and go explore the mountains.
You don't want to go up there because we've
I'll
had
drop you some
4
condoms
avalanches
on
on
Wednesday,
that valley.
and I'll look for ptarmigan on Thursday.
Danger, Will.
Will Robinson. It just doesn't. I mean, and this is like nothing to do with hunting dogs, but who cares? You guys are all so used to Brandon and Ken and Andy are so used to living here with the snow and the weather and everything. You needed a trailer. You didn't know where you were going to get a trailer to haul our truck home, which before we wrap this up, the scariest day of my life. Like, you made some phone calls and boom,
Yeah.
you had a trailer. And then Brandon, his truck, he's got a big old Chevy Duramax. It's like a Chevy commercial.
It is.
You guys don't have any. You don't have
from
enough
Michigan.
Fords up here, but in good reason.
Well, Jonathan has a Ford.
Go figure. Go figure. I'd rather have a Piper Cub without wings.
It's just a little bit different.
I got one of those.
Yeah, but that's that neighborly mentality. right?
That's what it is. It's like
That's what it is.
you made
Yeah.
phone calls.
Yeah.
The guy you got the trailer from, even though you knew him, it could have been a guy you didn't know.
I didn't know him.
Oh, you didn't really know him.
No.
Just
Really?
somebody knew him that knew you, or
No, I just picked a name out of the phone book.
you did not. That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a lot, liar.
No, I knew him.
Now we're back to your distance judging when we're
right,
walking.
Exactly.
Oh, it's only another
Third of a mile.
third of a mile.
That's how people are.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Willing to help others out.
right. It is pretty cool, and you don't. I could go to my neighborhood in Twin Lake. If I didn't know, I'd have to go to a tried and true friend to ask him if he had something.
What about Frank? I mean, he picked us up at what, midnight?
Oh.
Right? Isn't that the true Alaskan experience?
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean,
where
breaking
you
down
can
in the middle of the
call
wilderness with no phone.
and you can call someone and be like, "Hey, you mind? It's midnight. Can you come rescue us?" Yeah. You know what? I'm going to drive down, hell, ditches, swamps. I'm going to, bury my truck through 4 miles of valleys and troughs of swamps.
Mud ruts.
And you know what? And I'm going to get to you.
Right.
I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to throw you on my trailer. I'm going to get you out.
Yeah.
Survival.
At midnight.
And a lot of times they'll bring you a beer too.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I'm going to fly you in your
That's a
boots
good
and
point.
beers and condoms and whatever.
They're like, we're prepared. Be safe, be ready.
It's
But
right.
it's a little bit different than Maine, right? Yeah. No.
I don't believe so. I
You
think
don't?
Maine's right up that alley, but same
help each
mentality
other
as
out.
far as all as
I think
hunters go.
Feels like
We
more
support
of a
one
survival
another.
mode out here.
We're in the same camp.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you try to be as prepared as you can.
Yeah.
But there's just some things you just can't control.
Yeah. I mean, you're prepared like a damn Boy Scout. I've seen your garage, your toolbox, your straps, your chains, your binders, your extra batteries. But we got to wrap this to the point where we've had 2 days up here in the mountains. It really is the foothills of the mountains. I mean
Yeah.
the flats are the flats, but you got to get down to the flats. In a log cabin, it was chewed up by bears. And we got to leave now. What was it? What did you give them at 2:00? Come out of the
No, I didn't get that.
flats by 2.
I did not get
Come on.
that.
I might have withheld that piece of information.
See?
I did. Yeah, I did. What? Before we left, Ken said, "Hey."
Coming out.
He said, "Hey."
Oh,
He said,
wow.
"Hey, you guys should probably start heading out around 2." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I was like,
You guys need to talk to my wife.
"Right."
Explain yourselves.
Yeah.
I got my
me,
ass
not me.
chewed last night.
Not me.
Because I'm getting texts from Ken, and you know all this information. I'm getting texts
I
from
withheld that whole thing. I didn't say anything because 2:00 didn't make sense because we were playing the tide,
a
right? When we
minute.
thought about
Right. That's
what
when
time
they're
the
going to
ducks
start
get
rolling in.
off the
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
and we checked the tide, and was like, "We're gonna be an hour. It's gonna be later."
What was it, 4:00 where I'm like, is he jonesing to get out of here or what?
Like, no, we're okay. The birds are just starting to fly. And then that other guy came out on the plane, and I was like,
Well, it's all going to happen right now.
So Ron and I are sitting there. We're like, "Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that. They're still down there shooting. It's like they're supposed to be walking
Son
out
of a
by
bitch.
now." And then like another 25, 30 minutes go by. Boom, boom, boom. What the hell? They're still shooting.
To back it up, we
I
go down.
apologize.
We
I'm
go
sorry.
down
I feel bad.
to the apparently.
You can blame it on me.
I
We go
blame
to the
Brandon.
pickup point that Brandon kept the time secret on.
Yeah.
We're good at secrets, Brandon, but that was not one you need to keep from me.
Well, we wouldn't have got any ducks if we wouldn't.
And so we go down there, and Ken says, he goes, "You know what? Let's just go back up to the cabin and start packing." It's a lot of packing. You got to get all totes on top of the roof rack of a 91 Suburban. It looks like, please don't put anything on me.
You should have saw the shit Jason brought.
No, Tyler's hair blower and hair curler.
I had two
It
very
wasn't
small
my
bags. I had two very small bags. And
Oh my god.
so we get that packed up. We go, kind of packed up. And then we go there, and then you get a text that they say the birds are starting to fly.
It's,
then
it's happening.
Then we go like, all right, let's just go back to camp.
Yeah.
Again, down this. You just can't picture this hellhole 2-track.
every time we move, it's like risking your life.
Right.
Is it gonna
if that
happen
thing
now?
stops in the middle of this 2-track
Yeah.
in a foot and a half of water, we're done.
Yeah.
And no one's getting us out of there.
Ron, do you link your podcast to your Instagram? Because they would have to see that video.
Oh, I can do that. Jesse will do that
You
for me.
should do that.
I'll do the iceberg video.
Because it is something else.
Was that the point where you were jamming your truck into an inch and a half of ice and just hoping
that's a-
something would break so you can
Yeah,
go another
creating
5 feet
waves.
and do it again?
Try to just create a wave in front of you
And
to
it
kind of
cracks it
break
up.
that up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't breaking.
You did a
When-
good
when it
one in
gets-
the morning when we went toward the north. What was that? The fire camp.
Oh yeah.
Insta.
And
The end of the road.
yeah, end of the road. You hit a couple where it was like the sheets went boom, 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 and got out of the way.
Broke right up. Yeah.
But we had to go back. Then we said, all right, let's go clean camp up, sweep it out, lock it up, and then we went back to wait.
No, these guys will be here by
By
this.
then, and then we still hear shooting. And Brandon, I didn't know that you're sitting on this information.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know till now.
I'm like, Brandon, you
didn't
know,
Something was
seems
going
like
on
Ken's
between
Jones
you.
and we
Ken
get
and I
out
are
of
like,
here. You sure we
come
get?
on.
We get another 15. We're
My
good.
dog didn't give me a retrieve before.
I kept hearing Jason go, "It's about to happen. It's about to happen."
Oh, it's gonna happen. I feel it. Let's
That's a
just hang
positive
out. It's
energy.
gonna happen.
He kept standing up, changing the decoy sequence. Just because
Don't judge me, Tyler.
I'm not. I'm just telling the story like
totally
it actually.
That's
see
what
that.
you do as a duck hunter. It's
all
what
right.
you do.
Well, I think that's why he got up and left the first day, though.
No, you had it all wrong.
No.
I had to
Well,
go.
well, we did have it all
Anyway,
wrong.
I
We did
get
have
Wait,
it all
Jason didn't give it long enough to see if the duck would have liked the decoys, but they walked away 10 minutes after they sat down.
Anyway,
Well, we were-
I'll give him.
we
It
were-
was
I mean,
cold.
we were within gun range of you.
no. Hey, Ken, I put the goose decoy, the silhouettes, the exact same way you did the first day.
Yeah.
Jason walks over and changes them.
No, I said you have no sentry. There's no sentry.
And you
You
changed
gotta have a
all.
sentry.
You gotta have a century.
You gotta have a century.
Anyway, how did we get out of there, Ron?
Well, okay. Well, after, let's see, we cleaned the windshield. We got some Windex out.
We made dinner.
Made dinner for everybody. Made sandwiches
Yeah,
for
you guys
everybody.
are rock
Potato
It worked
salad.
out great, didn't we? Got some extra duck hunting. We didn't have to pack our
Came
shit.
back, we had dinner.
And our lunches was packed when we got in.
The only thing
You guys
didn't
can
have
thank
was a
me later.
concierge.
We gotta clarify something here.
Yeah, you just.
I think Brandon withheld all of this just so
I
he
think
had
he did
dinner
too.
made.
There's a possibility.
Well played.
Thank you.
Well played.
We got to clarify something with Brandon. He doesn't make a single meal for himself. His wife is like top notch, like cooks everything for him.
Is that why he cooked at the cabin? Because he feels guilty about his
Oh, I
wife cooking all
guarantee
the
it.
meals?
I guarantee it. Yeah. He
They can't hear that as well, huh?
he was just
got my lighter.
had so much weight on his chest. He just couldn't take it. But anyway,
Thank you. So we finally, these yahoos, these Hanyaks come out of the Devil's Club nightmare walk up the mountain, and now we're ready to go. But now we got to get waders off, and they got to get their totes off the top, and we got to get. And I mean,
they want their freaking dry underwear. They want.
Oh yeah,
this,
they can't just ride home.
Yeah, just
no, they
get
got to
right
have.
home in what they got on.
I'm surprised
but-
they want to comb their hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And
We had everything
we
all
fed 'em.
packed up, ready to go.
plates
Dinner,
of food on the-
plates of food.
Actually, you guys did. It was sitting right on the hood, waiting for us.
Really appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah. The feed trough was just
Yeah,
made.
it was just there. It's like a buffet.
Yeah,
It was nice.
And we.
Oh boy.
So I keep looking like it's we there's a piece of this trail. Give me an idea. Would you guys agree with 200 yards of water-filled trail
Oh
Wait, wait, wait.
Oh,
200
for sure.
yards of where?
200 yards.
on the way out and the way in?
So
that-
you saying when you take dry land,
when we're on somewhat dry, mucky land, and we look at that where we had to break the ice for 200 yards.
1 mile.
Huh?
1 mile.
Oh, it wasn't a mile.
Oh, it was a mile.
No,
It was.
wasn't a
It
mile.
Did
certainly
it not
was.
feel like a mile?
It felt like a mile every inch of the way.
It was
I'm
a
saying it
freaking
was
mile.
200-300
Maybe
yards.
it's easier to think of it this way. About a third of it was kind of dry.
I recorded it and I looked back and it took 6.5 minutes to get through it.
I watch you. Your
6.5
dog goes on
minutes?
Oh
point.
yeah, you put your phone on the dashboard camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got to get out of this place, and still, you got to remember we got flatlanders here, even though Maine's not
Oh,
flat.
boy.
But we got the lower 48ers, us trolls, us
All right.
trolls. These guys know there's lions and tigers and bears and leopards and jaguars and looking at us from trees. And all I can think about is we got to get out of here. And the sun's starting to go down. Now again, we're in Alaska. There's a lot of angle to the sun. But we're going to need headlamps before we get out of here, headlights. And we get into this, I'm going to say, 300-yard, 200-yard frozen road with 3/4 inch ice on it. And we have to literally bump it with the bumper and bump it with and break it up. And I said, you guys realize the Titanic went down from a freaking chunk of ice. And we're running with a 91 Suburban with an attitude.
And
And
Ken did not. His attitude did not show any sort of.
You know what's good about Ken? When I start panicking, trying to make jokes, he just like totally blocks me out. And then when he knows he's gonna make it, then he laughs at the joke. He's totally he's like, I'm okay with that, but please, I could use a little quiet for about 30 seconds here.
I need some me time.
I need a little. I gotta get us out of here because Jen's feeding the chuckers at home, and I gotta get home. And she's
My ass is grass if I don't get home tonight.
and we all go there like, oh, your wife's great. She goes like, well, I gotta get home.
I don't care what you went through.
Right.
I have to feed chuckers tonight.
Right?
So and I'm serious. This is on the way in. We did take our time. We shot some birds. We were not in a hurry. It was a 3-hour ride in on this trail
Yeah.
with a little bit of speed and in better weather or harder ground. 2 hours.
Yeah, we're making some good time coming
Right.
out.
Right. Yeah, we were. We were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But now it's pitch black. There's a gazillion stars in the sky.
All because of Brandon.
Again, all because of Brandon.
Withholding information.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we did break down, it should have been 3 hours of daylight left. Right? Which then
Totally.
one of us brave souls would have walked to the road.
Well, we would have had more willing individuals to come help us.
I would have suggested you walk, but I didn't want you to be eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
And now we're going through these, this is like, boom, 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 boom. We're driving along. We're all talking. We're all laughing, telling stories. I'm telling about the first time I got crabs. all that.
Anyway,
And we're just trying to kill time. And all of a sudden,
The first time.
all of a sudden,
good point.
all of a sudden, Ken he kind of pulls off to the side. There's not really a side to pull off to, but he's, what's going on? He goes, truck's dead. I'm like, oh, stop. He goes, no, the truck's dead. I'm like, well, what do you mean the truck's dead? It's been dark for an hour. Now, we have 0 cell service at this point. 0.
And also 20 degrees.
Oh, no, it got colder than 20.
Started.
By the time we left.
Started.
It was probably at 20. So could we have all survived and unloaded the roof and found sleeping bags and dry socks and huddled up together like a Jonathan, what would he call that? Burning Man.
Jordan and Ford.
Could we have done Burning Man that night? Maybe. I could have personally died at 64 years of age.
I called Tyler.
But I was
Kyle.
I was
sorry.
I was trying to be positive when I know.
I was putting my armrest out to give some separation between you.
And Ken's like,
I don't know what's coming next,
I
but
climbed back. I went back with the dog.
You did.
I climbed back with the dog.
Yeah, 100%.
so I'm like, we're going to die.
what about the dogs? What are the dogs thinking about through this whole
They
thing?
didn't
I
care
didn't give a damn.
They were in a ball. Just
until you
comfortably
walked out
there.
to go shoot a grouse. They didn't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this thing was like, Of course, all us geniuses are in the car going, I think it's points, I think it's plugs, I think it's this, I think it's a canoe valve.
Must be low on oil.
Right. Oh, you know, it's wiper fluid.
Yeah.
And you're out there, you know, poking around. You got a headlamp. Brandon's out there. We're inside the car like three little women.
Gentlemen,
You know, it's
we're
still-
screwed.
We're screwed. And all we can think about is like, okay, it's
Bears.
It's bears.
Bears, yeah,
Wolves.
for sure.
Wolves.
Moose.
Moose. All these things can kill you. So we have no bear spray. No pistol that's worth a darn.
No.
In fact, no pistol at all.
Number 2 shot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they'll stop.
22.
They'll stop a brown bear. So no one's gonna walk to the road. Now the road's probably 3 or 4 miles.
2.
See, there you go with the distance again. We drove it today to get to truck. Just 2 miles my ass.
He's right. It was like 2.
It was not 2.
was.
You're 2. Anyway, we're sitting there. We're sitting there in the pitch black while Ken is trying to work a Garmin Astro to his phone. I don't know why. He thinks they're going to Bluetooth to each other.
They were. I just forgot how to use them.
But we couldn't Google how to use them because
couldn't
we
even
had no
Google.
service.
I practiced it, but yeah,
So
anyway.
4 hours later,
We're safe. We're good.
the beauty of it was,
We had each
hell,
other.
Frank.
We had
it
each
was
other.
when you got bandwidth and you send a text, sometimes a tower will pick it up and boom. So we're getting these little. You guys were outside kicking the fuel tank to see if it would like. What else do you do? But
Kick the tires.
kick the tires. Maybe it's a tire valve
Right.
that's bad.
Middle of
And then we'd hear your phone go off, and we're like, "It's help!"
Yeah, play by play.
Play by play, and then Jen would have something, and then Frank said, "I'm on my way."
Oh my God, Frank.
Yeah, all
Well,
hell,
that-
Frank.
I
You
think
know what?
held that back for a
that was
little bit.
exactly what you said.
But didn't you hold that back for just a little bit?
I knew Frank had my back.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. If there's anybody that would, Frank and I, we've been hanging around each other for quite a while, 20 plus years now.
He's a
Oh,
great
wow.
guy.
That's cool.
Super great. We live for this kind of stuff.
So that was
But,
fun.
but
That
the
was
funny
fun.
thing is,
Oh, yeah.
like you and Brandon
enjoyed
and
that.
Andy here,
I did
it just doesn't shake you guys at all.
Well,
That's just part of it. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, exactly what
I
he
was
said.
I was visibly shook.
Where we were like, holy shit, we're gonna die here.
We're gonna die.
What's the worst thing that happened? You sleep in your sleeping bag.
Yeah.
First thing, I couldn't think that far ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
My thought was my first thought. I wonder which of the dogs is going to eat us first for food.
Oh, I was thinking which dog we were gonna eat first.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the opposite because we're going to get hypothermia before the dogs will.
I wonder what the dogs
I'm going to
were
have
thinking.
paradoxical. Look at this.
Like, well, how
This
come
could
they, how
be-
come they haven't fed me yet?
Why have they stopped?
Right. This could be
Stupid
the
humans.
epitome of paradoxical undressing. We not only made it easier for the dogs to eat us because we were all in hypothermia and we all undressed because we thought we were hot. Now the dogs don't even have to chew through flannel or technical clothing. And they're like, well, you guys made it easy.
we were staying
Kyle
pretty.
would have gone first. I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
a lot of red meat here.
It was pretty warm in that Suburban though.
As long as the doors were closed. And I kept smoking cigars.
I was gonna say you were chain smoking like no get out.
Right. Oh, yeah, I had an mission.
We're all
Yeah.
addicted
I
now.
always figure,
I was
like,
like,
if I'm going to die, this is no time to quit smoking.
Yeah. Just, I was like, this,
I had 5 beers up on the dashboard. And when Frank pulled up, he goes, well, you guys must be doing all right. I'm doing all right.
yeah. I was like, man, this little fire over here is keeping us pretty warm.
I was never so glad when he said he was on his way.
And those
saved
headlights
And
came
then,
up.
yeah, and then we knew, like, okay, we can be a little
We're all
cold for a
good.
little
We're
bit.
all good.
I gotta say, I remember your comment. The hood was straight
Oh,
up,
yeah,
and
we
you're
had the
like,
hood up.
you're like, well, at least we can't see when the bears come and attack us.
I said, hey guys, let's not put the, you put the hood up on a 91, Suburban instead of the inside. It looks like like you're parked under a outside movie theater. It's about an 8 foot by 6 foot hood. And I said, guys, I don't know if you're good with this, but let's keep the hood up because there's no point in seeing the bears coming at us. I was so glad when Frank showed up. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Well, it's kind of like glad, but kind of a letdown too, right?
Yeah, because you wanted to stay out there in the middle
You
of it.
wanted that.
No,
you wanted
no,
the
no.
excitement just to continue.
Just to keep that
100%
memory a
did
little
that.
bit more alive.
Huh?
I want to make it home.
Yeah.
No.
You wanted to get
I
home.
did not want to see that
Well,
continue.
you didn't, Jason. You didn't
I
go
was
like.
good.
You didn't say, "God, I wish we were here for just a couple more hours."
No, I was going back to my bag. I'm like, okay, I got all my survivor gear on top of this vehicle.
Yeah.
I got like a rain jacket, maybe a sweater on the inside of the vehicle. Okay, who are we eating first?
Kyle.
I think we were down to a loaf
Kyle's
of bread,
going
some
down.
cheese,
Damn it.
Meanwhile, we had
a
like
lot of beer.
what did we have, like 30-some ducks that we could have ate.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
and
we-
some
Spruce
and
grouse.
Spruce grouse.
Spruce
Spruce
grouse.
hands.
Wouldn't have been good as dinner tonight, by the
No,
way,
but-
but
Yeah, that was.
it would have got us by. But I'm telling you, it's scary. Broke down with. I mean, it's. I don't know if you guys can tell.
dim.
Even today when we went back to get the Suburban,
You're having flashbacks.
no, the guy's like, yeah, just saw a couple wolves up the road.
Oh yeah, yeah. That guy saw some wolves up the road. You know they were smelling us. They
I
were
think that
smelling
guy
my
went
fear.
out there and smoked some peyote or something.
No, I'm telling
There's
you
no
what.
way he saw wolves.
Really?
Those
No,
Oh,
those wolves could
Well,
smell
they-
my fear.
well,
they
I
came
believed
in,
it.
didn't they?
That's just a urine running down your leg.
Feeling spry.
Well, anyway, we had a absolute. You can't do better than being with friends, dog people, and then on an Alaskan adventure. And it was Jason and Tyler and I. You guys will be telling it a different version, like, oh, these panty wastes from the lower 48. You should have seen them. But it's a story that you're going to tell forever. You're going to tell forever, and I'm going to tell forever because it's just
Hell yeah.
it's so fun.
I'll definitely remember it.
Yeah, I'd like to thank both of you guys. 'cause
Yeah, for
It
sure.
was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
will-
every time I come up here and we do something, it's just another facet of Alaska.
Yeah.
Just
Well, there's so
truly
much to
amazing.
do. I mean, you
It's no
can't-
wonder why we gave it statehood in '59.
Well,
I won't forget it.
I don't even know what you meant by that, Ron.
I don't either.
I laughed at
I'm
it.
on my 7th ringer, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
But I mean, honestly, you can't come up. Every time you come up, you're going to do something different.
Yeah. I'm going to get up here in August next year. I'll come up in
A
August.
little bit earlier.
August 10th.
Oh, yeah.
In England, they call it the glorious 12th, August 12th. We're going to call it the glorious 10th.
Well, that might not be the best time, but we can talk about that.
All right, we can dial it in a little before the gales of November come early.
Jason wants to go fishing.
We,
Tyler wants to.
Jason wants to go. Kyle wants to go
God.
fishing mad.
Kyle wants to kill the fish. He's been jonesing.
Ah. Well, thank
Anyway.
you, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming on, having some fun. This is what we do as hunters, as friends, and as, it's just what we do. And we could do it in 4 more places in 4 more months, and it's the same kind of thing. We meet the same kind of people all the time.
It's a blast.
That's
Do
why I
it with
wish
better people
everybody,
sitting in this room.
I wish everybody could do what we do. They can't, but if you strive to, you'll find the friends, you'll find the camaraderie, and you'll have fun.
Well, that's why we have the youth hunt this weekend.
Right. Yeah, we
More
should
people.
wrap that up. Like, I think we mentioned it early, but
Yeah.
40-some people, 60-some helpers, to just expose them to bird dogs, shotguns, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we get, it's such an awesome weekend. It's a single day event,
Yeah.
but I mean, if we convert 1, 2, 3, or 4 people, I mean, that's a success.
Oh, yeah.
But
You have to. You got to get 1 or 2 keepers, just like running chapters.
yeah,
You can have 50 members. You got 10 that are working.
Exactly.
So if you gain a couple, they'll gain a couple.
seeing the smiles off people's faces when they leave, you guys are going to see it first.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And even if they
pretty cool.
don't continue, that smile.
yeah,
They're going home telling that story
Oh,
just
yeah.
like I'm whining about that 2-track trip.
exactly. It's
Yeah, but the mentors in this chapter, and the experience that they understand and the knowledge that they withhold, you know, to share with all these these women and these youth, that's super important.
Yeah.
That's amazing what
Yeah.
you guys are doing.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
All right, everybody. That's it. We're wrapped up. That was one of my longest podcasts in history.
Was
I
it
might
a
cut it
3-hour
into,
one?
It's 2 hours and 2 minutes. They're usually an hour and 2 minutes. But, you know, I might cut it in two, might not. Who knows?
All right.
We'll just see what we can do. Love you guys. Love you girls. Love you girls more. And remember, if you take a wild bird from this country, you owe it to the Conservation Club that supports the habitat, that supports your favorite species. I don't want to hear anything about it.